From Western Branch High School in Chesapeake, Virginia, WHCS Sports presents AAA Division 5 Eastern Region Championship. A game between the Bethel Bruins and the Norcom Greyhounds. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hitz and head coach Bill D of the Phoebus Phantoms. We welcome you to chilly Western Branch High School for this matchup between the 9-2 Bethel Bruins and the 11-0 IC Norcom Greyhounds. Gentlemen, this should be a superb game. We've had a chance off camera to talk a little bit of it. Bill, you've had an opportunity to not only play against Bethel, but also you scrimmaged against Norcom. Give us a little of your information about this team.
Well, we've got two great football teams here tonight. I think both teams will be well prepared, and they're going to pretty much do the things they did to get them here. Norcom, they set everything up with their defense. The defense is they're counting on their defense to get turnovers, to get good field position, and not put too much pressure on their offense. Though their offense is very consistent. They got Terry Ricks. Terry Ricks is an all-time leading runner in this region or in this district, and probably next year we'll have a chance to break the record for the region. Their quarterback is not flashy, improved a lot since I saw him in the scrimmage. I think he throws much better when he's on the run, but he did a great job. He kept his composure, didn't make any big mistakes, and defensively they played their usual great football game, caused some turnovers and made things happen. With Bethel, I think Bethel, of course they got a kid named Iverson who's a pretty good football player. They got great explosion on offense, and also have played great defense. I thought they played well defensively the last couple of weeks. They held a good Lake Taylor team who was 10-0 top seed last week. Held him. I don't have the stats or no, but I know one thing: they held him to 7 points, and that was on a pass that was pretty much a fluky play. And with Iverson also, anytime you have to kick the ball to him, there's a chance that it's going to go 6 points the other way. So it's a real good matchup. Got a lot of good athletes out here, a lot of team speed. Bethel's a lot bigger than Norcom. Bethel's got great size up front, where Norcom's not quite as big, but they try to make it up with a lot of quickness and speed.
Well, what you find with Iverson is he can beat you more than one way. Kickoff, punt returns, defense and offense throwing the ball and running.
That's another. He intercept the ball and take it back. I think he had a 102-yard interception against Gloucester this year. So he's dangerous anywhere on the field. He gets his hands on the ball, it's a chance that it could go back the other way.
Bill, the question I wanted to pose to you is your Bethel High School, you're coming in against a very tough defense in IC Norcom. They allowed only 23 points in their first 10 games. Of course, then they allowed 14 against Hampton. How do you beat this IC Norcom team if you're Bethel?
Well, I think the things you want to do against Norcom are quick-hitting plays, things that aren't going to take a long time to develop. They play a very hard, pressure, penetrating type defense. Quick hitters in the running game and also in the passing game, maybe some three-step drops, or maybe even sprinting out or getting Iverson moving on the corner, because they are coming with an extreme amount of pressure. That's their game. They want to make things happen, turnovers and things like that. So I think things that aren't going to take too much time to develop. I think you're going to have to hit it quick.
Well, I think what you see Norcom with their defense, if I'm hearing you right, is they're like a team that presses you full court man-to-man in basketball. They're going to make things happen with their defense. What Bethel's got to do is try to neutralize that some way with their quick hitters, maybe trap something up the middle, just to try to take away that stunning. Tim, we got a great crew tonight. I don't have all the names, but the head of that crew is Ron Cherry, a good friend of ours. We've been fortunate enough to do some all-star games with his crew and the state championship or two with his crew.
Well, that is he to the left on your screen there, the gentleman with the white cap on. And by the way, he was testing his mic out. We'll have him live on mic for us throughout the game, and he yelled up to me to be sure and say hi to you.
Well, I tell you what, he not only does a great job, but his crew meets all the time, and I was talking to Bill D about it, and he says they're interested in doing a good job because they meet and they work together good as a unit. So it's great that we have a good crew for this game. Bill and I were talking earlier. Bill feels that this is a championship game. of the Division 5. Who wins this has got a good chance just taking it all away.
I really feel the winner of this game will be the state champion. I think you got two outstanding football teams. I really can't see two better teams than this anywhere else in the state.
Well, you're looking at the Bethel Bruins right now. They will be the visitors tonight. Of course, they are seated behind IC Norcom. But let's not forget that Bethel is 4 points away from being 11-0. They lost by 1 point to your team and 3 points to Denby. Otherwise, they'd come into this game undefeated as well. So anyone who takes Bethel lightly coming into this game just because they have 2 losses on the ledger is in for a big mistake, I think.
Well, Bill, do you think that maybe later on in the game, if it's a tight game, that the size of the Bruins' offensive and defensive line may start to wear down a little bit the Norcom players?
Yeah, Bob, I think that could be a factor. I think that came to be a factor last week in the Hampton game. I think Bethel really, started to wear them down up front and was real effective with their running game, hit some big plays. And I think that's another thing. I think you need to stay patient against the Norcom defense. They're going to stuff you. You're going to get some plays with no gain, but then if you you can hit a big play because of the type of defense they play.
Against Lake Taylor last week, the Bruins did not really go to Michael Jackson in the first half. Iverson tried to do a lot of stuff on his own. I think Bob and I even commented that Allen needed to realize he was not going to win that game by himself, that he needed to complement his greatness on the field, and truly he is one of the fine players in the Peninsula District. But he's got a good running tandem with this Michael Jackson, who had over 900 yards during the regular season.
Yeah, Jackson was the 4th leading rusher in the district. I think he was like maybe 4th in scoring. So he's an excellent running back, and I think you have to keep your balance, especially in the big football games. You can't be one-dimensional. You can't depend on just one person.
Good point.
And both of the teams have made it to the field. We're about set to have the meeting at the center of the field for the reenactment of the coin toss, which was held, I understand, prior to this actual meeting. But we'll be able to listen in as Ron Cherry will conduct the ceremonies at the center of the field. The field here at game time is a little soggy. Those of you, of course, that are seeing this game on delayed tape, as all of you will be. This is not a live cable cast that we've had the pleasure of doing previously. But this field is soggy from the 2 days of rain. Let's listen in on Ron Cherry.
Mr. Brothers, your back judge. Mr. Cole, your line judge. Mr. Rice is head linesman. Mr. McCain is your umpire. My name is Cherry, and I'm your referee. We've already tossed the coin. We know that Bethel won and deferred the toss until the second half. Norcom is going to receive on that end. Bethel is going to kick from the scoreboard. Is that correct? For the people in the stands, assimilated, same. Got Bethel deferred the toss. Okay, you're going to receive on that end. I'm just doing this for the press box. Return, please.
Well, now, if you remember, they did that against Lake Taylor because Kaz got a lot of faith in his defense, and he figures that if he can stop them and start with good field position, and and it really is a different type of thought, because you would think with somebody as good as Allen, you'd want him to get the ball as soon as you could. But in this case, it worked good last week and this week.
Well, personally, if I have a great defense, I'd rather start off on defense. This year, I felt early on we were a little better on offense, and we win a lot on offense. But I think when you have a great defense, you are exactly right. If you can keep them 3 plays and out, and then you got good field position, and then get the ball in the second half, that's the ideal situation.
All right, we're about set to go. As I started to say, it's chilly here at Western Branch. The temperature in the low 40s. A clear sky, we're happy to say. There is no rain presently, and only a 30% chance of any rain this evening. So, of course, this game was postponed from the original Friday night start. And I think to Bethel's detriment, because we all kind of agree that Bethel would have been a better team on a wet surface against this Greyhound team. But that's neither here nor there. You see the head coach of the Bethel Bruins, Killer Dennis Kozlowski. That's Killer Koz, I call him. And he wears that same shirt, no jacket, no sweater, to every game.
He's got something under that. I don't believe it.
Well,
and something.
And he wears the same tie, and it may have a little heater in it. I don't know, but.
All right, we're about set to go. This will determine the Eastern Region Championship. The winner of this game will advance to the state semifinals next Saturday up in Richmond Stadium. The Rules of this game, 4 12-minute quarters in high school football, in case you're not familiar with those rules. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as college ball in many respects. Out to the 35-yard line, a good return for the Greyhounds. That was Lamont Burns returning the opening kickoff.
And as Andre Williams, just a small kid, he's only 5'8", just a sophomore, with him in on that stop. But now we'll see what kind of defense. And Cos comes up with a lot of different wrinkles every day as we watch the replay, Bill.
Yeah, it was a short kick. The kid backed up and took the kick, and they found a little crease. That was a big hit by that. He made a great hit on that play.
2 wide receivers to the near side, an I formation behind Sykes, the quarterback. Quarterback will snap the ball out in the flat. Got it to the same young man, Burns, that returned the opening kickoff for that quick hitter. We saw Hampton use that a couple of times, a couple of games ago, very effectively.
Yeah, they sure did. One thing you'll notice that we'll see is number 33 as we watch the replay. Brandon Chenault does a great job.
It was like a quick screen. They sent the other wide out down the block in the corner, and they got a pretty good gain, about 5 or 6 yards. Not a good way to start the game and a good safe pass.
2nd down and 5 for the Greyhounds. Again in the I formation. A fumble on the snap. The ball is loose. No indication yet. The Bruins say they've got it.
Yes, and so does Cherry. And he fumbled that from the center. It could be the center could have been slow. He could have been moving out, and that kills you as a coach, doesn't it?
This time of year, I tell you, you don't want to see a bad snap. I mean, that's something that should be automatic, and they did have 1 or 2 last week.
See if we can pick it up here. I don't know that we'll be able to see it, Bill, but yes, it was.
Looks like it, that's just never got up to his hands and never had control of it.
I'm going to give credit on the recovery to 7, Demrick Kirk, until told otherwise. Gunn got it, I'm told. Gary Moore tells me number 11, Xavier Gunn, with the fumble recovery. That is Kirk in motion, and this is Michael Jackson. Jackson with the quick hitter down to about the 33-yard line.
Well, that's what Bill said about going up the middle.
Michael Jackson with the quick burst of speed.
That's a nice play to start with, because I think that's Norcom's strength running at him, and they ran that ISO straight up there and got a great gain, about 8 or 9 yards.
Pickup of 9 on the play. 2nd down and a yard to go. Just underway from Western Branch. This is Iverson, the quarterback, over the center. Again, Kirk goes in motion to the right side. And again, the handoff goes to Michael Jackson. The hole is filled, and Jackson fumbles. And let's see who's got the football. I believe Norcom has recovered.
It was the second hit that come in there that jarred the ball loose. And this is one thing Coach D was talking about. These young men hit well, as we saw in the Hampton game last week. I watched the tape. Good hitting group.
Yeah, just when you think you have them beat, somebody will come from nowhere and lay a good lick on you, and that's what happened in that situation.
Here's the offense for the Greyhounds. Quickly, the center is Clemens, Stewart, and Moore. The guards, the tackles are Hebron and McCall, and the end is Demps. We'll get the rest of that for you after this play. So 2 turnovers, 1 by each team early here in the ball game. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, but able to break loose down the right sideline. That is number 24 for the Greyhounds, and I don't have.
That's Terry Ricks.
That's Ricks.
34. Okay.
I guarantee you that's Terry Ricks.
That is 34. Here you see the balance of the offensive set for the Greyhounds. Burns the split end, the flanker is State. Ricks and Dozier are the running backs, and Sykes is the quarterback.
Well, they being the Bethel Bruins, just didn't close up as you watch on the replay here.
Well, the linebacker stuffed it up, and he just spun out. Kid's got great leg strength that doesn't quit on any play.
That was Brandon Chenault, who had the good shot at him to begin with, but couldn't hold him, and the Greyhounds get the first down. This is Ricks, and Ricks will get nowhere this time.
And that charge was led by Big Barry Hargrave, 6'7" senior.
Hargraves.
And then we see the Bethel defense. We got Gaskell and Lamont Williams at guards, Dean and Hargraves at tackles.
On Gaskell there.
Chenault and Evans are the defensive ends, and the linebackers. We're going to find that you have Xavier Gunn is one of the linebackers, Robinson is the other, Hill and Terrell are the cornerbacks, and Iverson, of course, is a safety.
A loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down and 11 for the Greyhounds. This is Sykes on the option play, and Sykes is hit and will get maybe a yard or two on the play. 8:51 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Both teams have turned the ball over once here in the first quarter.
That was Xavier Gunn on the one of the tacklers that time as we watched the replay on this, Bill.
Yeah, they tried to run the option play, which they were very successful last week, and Gunn did a great job playing the option inside out, and also they got some help. I believe that's from the corner.
That's 25 for the Bruins. That's Terrell.
3rd down and 9 for the Greyhounds. Sykes back to pass. Has time now, gets the rush, and he throws it well out of play. It'll go incomplete. No flags down. A lot of contact along the sideline, but no flags.
Wow, that ball was just thrown up for grabs.
Yeah, that was a jump ball.
That will make a coach get gray hairs in a heartbeat.
Or lose it.
Is that? And by the way, finally, someone in the booth has the same barber as I do, Bob.
I think you got me beat. Yeah, here is straight drop back. I don't know. Looked like maybe they're trying to set something up.
I think
deep.
it looked like a screen that they were
I
trying
thought
to
it was
set
a
up.
screen, but then he was looking downfield.
The Greyhounds with a 4th and 9 in deep punt formation. Iverson, the lone deep man, fields the ball at the 10-yard line. He is ever so dangerous with that football. He gets up across the 20 to about the 25-yard line where he's driven out of bounds, and that's where the Bruins will set up for their second possession.
Score, Bayside 7-0.
Allen Iverson returned that punt to the 23 is where they mark it. And again, the rain was torrential, as you may recall, the last couple of days. So the hash marks on the field are non-existent. So the officials are going to have kind of a tough time bringing that ball in. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, no score. Kirk in motion to the right. This is Iverson's short drop over the middle. He's got Kirk. And Kirk is up close to the 34-yard line. I started to say over the middle. They started on the far side, actually. I thought he was going to Kelly Rogers at first. Rogers appeared to be open. Here's the Norcom defense. Now, Dempsey, Turner on the ends. Sparrow and Coleman the tackles. Hebron is the nose guard. And the balance of the Greyhounds, by the way, that was a first down on that pass and catch. The linebackers are Hawkins and Wadler. The deep backs are Sykes and Glover, Brothers and White. First down at the 34-yard line for Bethel. This time Rogers comes in motion to the near side. Hand off to Jackson, and Jackson is hit in the backfield and taken down immediately by David Turner, number 42. Now he saw a good example of that quickness on defense by the Greyhounds.
Nobody touched him. He was in the backfield by the time the ball got there.
Yeah, he was uncovered. There was no tight end. They had a wide out, and they brought the man in motion. And that's when they're going to come across and try to make something happen.
We
Hey,
got Go ahead.
Well, we'll get back to that in a minute. We'll give you the offense again. Hold that if you will, Mr. Director. We'll get you in a second. 2nd and 10. Looking for Rogers. Iverson has nobody open, so Iverson will try and go outside. He does, and falls down on the track. Let's hope he's all right. He's going to bounce up, I hope, and he does. Dangerous situation here with the sideline. The track is so close. He had to jump over the bench in order
Well, he knocked one of the guys. Somebody was sitting on the bench, knocked him down, but nice.
Yeah, great athleticism.
Here we go. This is the replay.
They had a crossing pattern out here. They're playing man coverage. He broke containment. And then as what he does well, he just runs to the sidelines and gets pretty good yardage out of it and made his best play out of bounds. Hurdles the bench, runs over, eludes a few cheerleaders, and fortunately he didn't get hurt.
Very fortunately, his loss would have been devastating to the Bruins. 3rd down and 5 for Bethel. Again, in motion is Rogers. And this is to Jackson, and Jackson is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. So nothing happening on a 3rd and 5 for the Bruins. They'll be forced to kick the ball away now, as coming on to do the punting will be Kevin Melvin, number 21 for Bethel.
If you remember last year when Norcom played Bethel, they blocked a couple of punts.
Two for scores too, weren't they?
Yes.
It's a quick trap. That's what we're talking about. They tried to trap it. The linebacker did a great job filling.
One man deep for IC Norcom. That is Ricks, number 34, ever so dangerous. Long count by the Bruins. Didn't pull him off. Melvin just gets it away. Pretended to have contact, didn't. In fact, this is not Rick's 34. In fact, it's number 32. And he will be out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. That is Larry Staten. And Staten is a important part of this offense for the IC Norcom Greyhounds. He has 16 receptions this year and 9 touchdowns.
So they got pretty good pressure. I think this is David Turner from the outside, and he got good pressure, just missed it. If he had put both arms out, I think he might have had it. And then the kid did a good job catching the ball and getting a decent gain, good field position here.
34-yard line. The Bruins almost trapped Ricks in the backfield, but he got away, and this could be 6.
This is the type of plays that he makes happen.
He had 3 or 4 Bruins had a shot at him, and that is unbelievable. You got to wrap him up, and Bill, you were talking about the strength of this young man's legs.
Both of those plays that he has broken for big plays were stuffed, and he just made something out of nothing. And that you just can't give up on that kid when you think he's down. You got to keep coming.
Well, and the Bruins kind of overran their defensive assignments too, I believe.
Yeah, he cut back and found the crack. I mean, it looked like he was going to lose yardage on that play.
The extra point try is up, and it is good. That is Ronald Hawkins to make it a 7-0 score for IC Norcom. Get a chance to pick it up.
Yeah,
after
he's got deceiving speed. You know, he's really a quick kid. When he's running inside, you know, he's dodging and slashing type of runner, but he's got great speed, because I guarantee you Bethel's got great speed. There's nobody near him.
Well, but everybody was over on that side when he cut it back against the grain. There was no defensive backs on this side. Everybody went to the right side of the Bethel defense.
That's the things you got to be careful against a great back. Even like our T.J. Carrington, they can see the whole field. When a kid can see the whole field, they can come back and hurt you anywhere, you know, on cutbacks, and that's what Ricks did. He just cut back, and Bethel had everybody over pursued, and
you could see just as soon as he got by that line of scrimmage, he was gone. There was no one going to get him.
Quickness.
So the Bruins, who fell behind last week, if you recall, against Lake Taylor on a fluky play. This certainly was not a fluke play, but it appeared for a moment that the Bruins did have him stopped. But he does score on the long pass. Last week against Lake Taylor, similar type situation early in the ball game, an 81-yard run by run and pass, if you will, by McSwain. But let's see what the Bruins are made of here, as they'll have to try and come back after trailing 7-0. At the 15-yard line, Iverson moves to the inside. He's got this kind of quickness. He may go all the way. This is what happens. Allen Iverson. Bubachuk has just returned the kickoff.
This is what Bill and I were talking about earlier. The man can beat you so many different ways, Bill.
I tell you what, I don't care. I'm not kicking to Allen Iverson. And I'll tell Kaz right now, I'm not going to kick to him next year either. We're not going to kick to Allen Iverson.
What a beautiful picture. I don't care who you want to watch play football. This young man can really light them up.
Well, he excites you because he can make so many things happen. When he gets the ball, you just expect something to happen, and we saw it. And what a great comeback after being down 7. You just go out and do what you can do.
85 yards for the touch. This is Wilton Evans. Evans, who's had trouble kicking. This is the extra point.
But this is the same scenario as last week. 7-6 with Lake Taylor scoring first. Watch the replay of the run here, Bill.
Well, it was a low kick. He doesn't get a lot of height on the kick, and kicks it right down the center of the field, right to Iverson. And they set up a little wedge, and they just let him pick his hole. He comes off to the right. All he needs is one little crack, and that's it. He's gone right there. He got through the crack, and nobody's going to catch him. I think it's foolish to kick to him on a regular basis. I just can't understand why anybody, unless you had a kicker that could get great height on the ball. If you could get great height, you got a chance to get under the kick more.
Well, that changes
Iverson-
complexion rather quick, doesn't it?
Iverson returned 14 punts during the regular season, 5 of them for touchdowns.
Yeah, and 2 against a team that I know pretty well.
But that's an awesome percentage. 5 out of 14. Jeez.
Those are punts.
Would
now.
like to have that, would you?
All right, the Bruins back in it, although they did miss the extra point. They trail now by 1, and then the return on that soggy field. You saw exactly what can happen. Marcus Dozier, trying to get his feet, lost his footing at the 25-yard line. And, of course, in high school ball, like college, once your knee hits, you cannot get up and run even if you weren't touchdown. Here's the replay of the kickoff.
Well, Norcom's done this on both kickoff returns, and this is a mistake. These kids are backing up for the ball. What you want is your D people coming up, and that's why he slips, because he's got to redirect. He should let the D people take the ball and run, and they wouldn't have that problem.
Like Iverson did. All right, the Greyhounds now with the ball at the 24-yard line. First quarter, 7-6, Norcom. The Bruins are blitzing, and they've got Sykes, and they're going to sack him back at the 16-yard line. Number 55 was there
Dean,
all the way.
Jonathan Dean.
Jonathan Dean and Sean Robinson putting heavy pressure on the quarterback, Sykes.
Well, we saw a linebacker jump up into the line of scrimmage, Bill, as you'll pick this up.
Yeah, I think they're bringing Gunn up inside, and they have too many people. The back tries to pick up Dean, which is a mismatch, and they flush him out, and he just does a great job on bringing him back from behind. I think Sykes is a better coming out on throwing on the run.
Loss of 7 on the play. 2nd down and 17 for the Greyhounds. Sykes on the draw play, and Bruins are ready and willing
Gaskell.
for that one. That's Fritz Gaskell. He was right there, and the running back had no chance at all. So the Bruin defense seems to have been fired up after that return by Iverson. As you talk about momentum so often, here's a prime example.
Watch the replay on this, but you're right. Gaskell, he did a great job on it. But, Tim, the defense of Bethel has done a great job all the time, except 2 times they didn't close up on the man. They didn't lock their arms.
Exactly that. They have had these men stopped and have let them get away. Not that time, however. 3rd down, and let's call it 20. Sykes rolling, looking, throwing long. He's got a man. He's well covered. Oh, almost an identical play to that Lake Taylor game. The defense.
Whoa, there, I can see that vision in my face.
Number 1 made a great play.
DeVan Hill almost tipped that ball and kept it alive for the Greyhound receiver, and that's what happened against Lake Taylor. We'll watch it again, Bill.
Yeah, they ran. This is a bootleg pass that they like to run. They ran it a lot last week, and then Sykes gets on the corner, which I think is his most effective play. And then he throws deep, and number 1 does a good job. Otherwise, that would have been 6.
And we saw against Lake Taylor, Terrell had a similar play, tipped the ball in a good defense.
Right, I saw that.
Right into the hands. So this time the Bruins are able to avoid that situation. Now standing back at the goal line will be the punter.
And Bethel should end up with great field position, Tim.
Iverson, the lone deep back. And they kick it to him. He gets it on 1 hop.
He's got a crease.
And Iverson just tripped up at the 40-yard line.
Whoa.
Falls to the 43.
Bill saw that crease.
Down to the 34-yard line. Iverson has a word for one of the Norcom players. That was O'Neal Sykes, the quarterback and the safety, a 2-way player for the Greyhounds. Watch this again.
Again, there's not much you can do here. You have to punt to them, and they're deep in their territory. And this is another thing. It bounces, and you can't let up when it hits the ground. A lot of kids will come down and see the ball hit and think he's not going to pick it up. It takes a bounce right into his hands, and he finds a crease right here and just slips right there. He might have taken that if he didn't slip in that situation.
So the Bruins with good field position at the 34-yard line of IC Norcom. Iverson back, has time, throws deep for Rogers. Rogers just outside of his outstretched hands on the far side. Double coverage on Rogers.
Well, that line they had that time, Norcom looked like they had 6 or 7 men up on the line of scrimmage that time, Bill.
Yeah, they bring a lot of people up tight to the line of scrimmage. They put a lot of pressure on their DBs to cover those people man to man. And Bethel's running a lot of crossing patterns, and they're coming close to hitting the big one.
Second down and 10. Clock stops with 2:40 remaining in the first quarter. You're watching Bethel and IC Norcom. Division 5, this is Bobby Sims, and Sims is leveled at the line of scrimmage.
Well, number 51 came in there and said, "Welcome to the game." That's Bryant Water. Whew. He wasn't the initial tackler, but he's the one that they set him up for.
Here you go, Bill.
Yeah, they looked like they were running. They were in the one back and ran the draw to Sims, and Waller came up and finished them off pretty good. I think I remember 51.
Third down, and let's call it 10 for the Bruins. Iverson feeling the pressure, rolling to the outside. He's got a man open downfield. He spots Rogers, and Rogers makes the grab and a penalty flag. No, he does not make the catch, but a penalty flag is down. Let's wait and see before we call it.
Well, if it's offensive pass interference or face mask, it's going to be a first down.
I mean defensive pass.
I'm sorry, yeah, defensive pass interference.
Could be offensive.
This could be. This is a big play right here.
It really is.
We'll hear Mr. Cherry.
Face mask call. So we were not able to hear Ron that time. Something malfunctioned with the.
Well, I think what he's going to do is give the preliminary signal, find out, they'll step it off, and then he'll give it to us.
Here's your replay of the action. Iverson did a good job as always.
Yeah, he had a scramble. They got good pressure on him, but he got to the outside, which gives him time to look for a receiver, and he found the receiver on the out. Was that Kelly?
Face mask, defense,
and
15 yards, previous spot.
That was Kelly Rogers, and he got the Kelly right on the face mask, and the referee was right there. So
a huge penalty, Bill, 15 yards.
Well, instead of 4th and 10, 1st and 10 now, and about what, the 20-yard line. That's a big play.
So the Bruins, with the penalty call against IC Norcom, have the first down at the Norcom 20. They trail by a point. For Kirk in the flat, it was just thrown behind him. That's a dangerous kind of pass. That really worries you, doesn't it, as a coach? If you underthrow that ball, the defender has nothing but.
Yeah, you want to overthrow that ball or throw it more to the outside. Again, that was a quick play, though. I think that's a good play against them. They're running a crossing pattern with the two wide people, and if he can get that ball to him and get to the sideline, they could get a big play out of that.
Second down at 10. Clock stops with 1:50 left in the first quarter. The Bruins trailing by a point. Division 5 Eastern Regional Championship game. Iverson over the middle, incomplete. Kelly Rogers down at the goal line. He's claiming he was knocked down, but it looked like he just may have slipped. Get a chance to watch this again.
Yeah, they had two people in the same area. I don't know if that was a missed pattern, but they kept him inside, that's the thing you have to do with Iverson. Keep him from running all over the field, and he had to step up and throw the ball and underthrew it.
So another big third down call here, 3rd and 10 at the 20. Iverson with time. Got a man in the corner. That's Kirk, and it'll go incomplete over the end line. Had he caught it, he would have been out of bounds anyway.
Well, you know, from this position, I don't look for Kaz to kick a field goal, but I do look for him to go on it on 4th down. You're on the 20.
Yeah, you're too deep in the turn. Their kicker's been doing a good job late in the season. He kicked a 35-yarder against Hampton, I believe, and he's been a little bit more effective.
Well, this is going to be a 37, and that's what they're going to do.
So I think he feels the kid's got a shot at it. Yeah, they overthrew Kirk. They kept Iverson in the pocket those last two plays. That's what you have to do. Make him throw the ball. Don't let him run around.
Iverson gets the direct snap. Flag goes down. And Iverson gets away from a would-be tackler, another would-be tackler, takes the tremendous hit. He throws the ball, penalty in the end zone.
Well, and that was offensive pass interference in the end zone.
We got penalty.
Yeah, we got some laundry out there. We got some things to check out.
Well, that was definitely a fake field goal attempt, but it was Xavier Gunn that Allen told to move.
Gunn in the motion,
so
right.
We have 3 flags. We have one in the backfield, one at the line of scrimmage, one in the end zone.
Okay, they got motion. pass interference against Bethel too.
All right, so that's only 2 then. The other one was
Probably the same one of the illegal
Of course,
motion.
Norcom might want to take the ball here. I mean, that was 4th down, so I don't think they're going to give Bethel another crack at it.
well, interestingly enough, they're going to mark it off.
Well,
Sorry. Illegal motion is refused. Pass interference occurs loss of down. That was 4th down. Now 1st down for red.
That's right. That's one of the few penalties is loss of down until they get that and the ball.
That's a big play there. Watch the replay here. You'll see a man on the field in motion. I'm not sure why there was a penalty for
I
a
think
man
he
in
was just turning up as the ball was snapped, and now they'll call that on motion. You have to be going sideways or backwards. And again, Iverson got loose and got a shot at the end zone.
Well, the Greyhounds take over at the 35-yard line after the penalty and a loss of down. They lead by the score of 7-6. Sykes has plenty of time, throws right side, got a man wide open. This is Ricks, and Ricks is dragged down inside the 30-yard line.
nice pass that time from the quarterback Sykes.
He's a composed kid. Because Bethel's bringing some people, and they got a little bit. Okay, I believe they brought Ricks out of the back. Yeah, they bring Ricks down the sideline. They brought the receiver, the tight end cleared out, and just threw it down the sideline. And that's a great play. That's a great throw and catch. And he's just as dangerous there as he is running from the backfield.
27-yard line, a big play for the Greyhounds. After the Bruins were moving the football, they were able to hold and take over. Now they've got it, and they're moving the ball. Reception at the 15.
Number 21 that time for the Greyhounds, Burns.
Lamont Burns on the receiving end of that pass. And that'll move the sticks again. A gain of about 12 on the play.
That's their favorite pass play right there, the bootleg. They run that quite a bit. Okay, 1st and 10, they run the bootleg, and they're looking for Burns coming across the middle, and he does a great job holding on to the ball because Iverson gave him a good smack.
At the 15-yard line, 1st down again for IC Norcom, flagged down, as is the ball carrier.
And that was Chenault that time on the defensive play, Tim. He was going to let that back. He really wrapped his arms around his legs.
He wasn't going to let him go that time.
Now, that's what you have to do. You only get that burn one time.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a penalty flag. They're discussing it apparently with the Bruins. Let's listen to Ron Cherry.
No flag on the field. No flag.
So you heard Ron explain there is no penalty flag.
This looked like a counter trap, which they like to run a lot, and somebody made a great play from the backside.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, that felt good.
Well, that clean out your sinuses, won't it?
Ron left his mic open there and blew the whistle in our ears for us. That was fun. So it's 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Again, same play, the bootleg. Robinson gets some pressure on the young man, and it's thrown, touchdown in the end zone.
That's their favorite pass play. They run that 5, 6, 7 times a game.
Lamont Burns on the 10-yard pass completion from Sykes.
The Sykes kid throws better when he's moving. I think that's why this is an effective play for him. He's much better when he's moving.
Hawkins will try the extra point again for IC Norcom. The kick is long enough. The kick is true. So the Greyhounds look like the momentum had shifted over to Bethel after that return by Iverson. Good defense made them give the ball back. Bruins had good field position, but then they couldn't do anything with the ball.
Watch the replay of the score here.
Okay, again, we got the bootleg play. I'd have to say this is their #1 pass play. The crossing action in the backfield, the wideouts running a flag, and they're looking for the man coming over the middle, crossing over the middle. The Burns kid right there, and you can see they're really flooding that one area. They got 3 receivers, and he just picked out Burns coming across.
Well, that was the end of the first quarter, and while we have this break, I do want to mention that we will pick a player of the game from Bethel tonight, and this is DC Engraving Sports Place Player of the Game from the Bethel Bruins. They will receive the individual will receive a shirt and a plaque. The plaque comes from DC Engraving, located at Tabb Square in Route 17. Dave Buckwalter's young man out there. And the sports place is where the shirt comes from. That is located at Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road, and Dave Chubb is the young man there.
You're watching the Division 5 Group AAA Eastern Regional Championship game. I'm Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and head coach Bill D of the Phoebus Phantoms. 12 minutes have gone by, and we have had a tremendously exciting first quarter.
Very exciting, 20 points.
Are they going to kick the Iverson? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm poking at.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. Iverson is lined up in the deep spot. This is an onside kick attempt, or certainly resembling one, and to give Bethel great field position.
Well, they feel better that way than let it get into the end zone.
That's what you call respect.
Yeah, well, you've got to be smart. You got to play the percentages. Like you gave me before, he's returned, 5-6 punts out of 14 for touchdowns. You got to play the percentages, and they're not good when you're kicking to them.
So Bethel will start from their 48-yard line. Excellent field position. Second quarter just underway. Pressure on Iverson. Iverson throws, and it's picked off. That was Lycovin White, number 40, who just laid back and picked it off. It was a terrible pass. You got to eat that ball once in a while.
Well, if he's going to throw that pass, he wants to throw it so it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, just a little bit more out of bounds. As he just threw it up for grabs, he was close to the sideline. Either that, yeah, he got forced out of pocket. Great pressure. I mean, they're really getting after him right now, and he threw it up. And this kid came about 15 yards across to make the interception because he came from the center of the field. Great play.
So the turnover gives the ball to the Greyhounds, leading by 8. They've got it at their 37-yard line. Again, Sykes, lots of time, but not for long, as closing in very quickly with Jonathan Dean, number 55, for the sack.
And John Robinson was also there, along with big number 79, Lamont Williams.
All right, move your feet.
Okay, he went straight drop back. They were looking for Terry Ricks out of the backfield, the play they ran earlier, and just you can't take that much time against Bethel because they're coming hard. Great pressure by Robinson, and the whole front really get good pressure on him.
Ball is marked at the 32-yard line, a 5-yard loss on the play. Let's call it second down and 15 for the Greyhounds. Split backfield. This is Ricks, and Ricks almost got away again. Boy, he is really slippery when he's going along that line of scrimmage.
Well, sometimes what happens is one of the Bethel Bruins has him, and as the other tackler comes up, actually knocks his own player off. And that young man's got strong legs.
Yeah, they're coming off tackle to the right side here to the wing side. They're blocking down and kicking out with the fullback, and he's got great legs. I mean, he's hit by three football players there and almost broke all 3 tackles.
Third down at about 12 after the 3-yard gain by Ricks.
Bootleg.
Bootleg again. Hargraves knocked to the ground. Sykes unloads. Got a man deep, and it's knocked away by Iverson. Allen Iverson, playing safety, batted that ball away at the last second.
Well, he could have caught that ball, but that would have given them lousy field position. Being a 4th down, that was a good move just to knock it down.
Yeah, he was beat deep on this. This is the bootleg, the play they ran successfully for the touchdown. And I'll tell you what I'm impressed with, he threw this ball a long way. And the kid was behind Iverson, and he just made a good play at knocking it. He was beat, and he knocked that ball down.
Kick is going to be down very intelligently by IC Norcom. This young man, Sykes, the quarterback, had 9 touchdown passes, only 654 yards on the season, and in 10 games only threw 86 times. So he only averaged about 9 passes per game, but I guess that's about average.
You know, with their running game with Ricks is so strong, when they throw, it's effective.
Well, Bethel's basically has shut down their running game except for that one long run. I mean, they have stopped them defensively, but Sykes impresses me passing the ball.
Iverson straight back to pass. Has some time, finds an open spot, has one man to get around, and he cannot do so. Good open field tackle by the Greyhounds. But that will be after Iverson picks up the first down at the 48-yard line.
Tavius Brothers is the one that looked like number 20 made that stop. What a nice open field tackle.
Allen, they're in the one-back set, dropped straight back, was looking downfield. I think he was looking for Kelly Rogers and broke the seam. I'll tell you, this kid made a great play. This is tough to do in open field, and plus laid a hit on him.
But not before the first down is registered at the 44. Iverson again. He's got a man open, and Kirk slips down at the 47-yard line. Had to go back for the ball, and the ball almost made the catch anyway. Defending on the play was number 19, O'Neal Sykes, the quarterback and safety for IC Norcom.
Well, if you got a field that's got some crown in it, it's going to be wet and soggier along the sidelines, and that's where the young man slipped trying to make that cut back.
Clock stops with 9:11 remaining here in the first half. 14-6 in favor of IC Norcom. Quick pass to Kelly Rogers in the flat. Rogers dragged down at the 44-yard line. It'll be short of a first down by about 3 yards. Third down for the Bruins. Mark is at the 43-yard line.
This is a quick screen. He's behind the line of scrimmage. They run down the wide out, and this picks up 7-8 yards. This has been an effective play for him.
Third down and 3 for the Bruins.
Kevin, get in the middle. Kevin, get in the middle. One up.
Same pass, other side of the field. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. So that brings up a fourth down now for the Bruins. IC Norcom's defense, of course, was incredibly stingy. Only allowed 23 points in the first 10 games of the season.
They were coming back with the same play, and somebody tipped the ball. We'll probably get a good chance to see it here. I guess the defensive end, great job getting his hands up. 42. Yeah, he made a...
That's David Turner.
David Turner. He's very quick. Not very big, but very quick.
Melvin in deep punt formation, standing back at his 43-yard line. Long count by the Bruins, trying to draw off IC Norcom. Norcom with great patience waited it out. Contact with the kicker, no penalty flag. Out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Ron Cherry looked right at the play and said, no way.
On your foot, Cole, on your foot.
Yeah, he might have slipped a little bit on that, but it looks like they're going to pressure the kicker every chance they get.
Want to take this opportunity to remind you that Channel 5 will begin cablecasting a program called Storytelling each Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. as you watch the replay of the punt. Storytelling features Hampton teachers and is correlated with the system's reading program. It emphasizes the whole language interdisciplinary approach. Viewers will be exposed to some of the materials used to teach young learners. Join your child and watch Channel 5 each Tuesday and Thursday for Storytelling here on Channel 5 at 6 p.m. This is Rick's right side. Has been very successful. He picks up about 3 on the play.
Number 80 for the Bruins that time on the stop. That's Michael Simmons.
Terry Ricks with 1,143 yards during the regular season.
Okay, they got a tight end and a wing and a wideout, so they're unbalanced this way, and they're just trying to pop Ricks to the outside, get him a crease, and that's been one of their more effective plays.
Gain of, let's call it 3, second down and 7 for IC Norcom. A little more than 7.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Reverse.
And Burns loses his footing at the 20-yard line, lost the ball, but had already been down.
So I was impressed with Barry Hargraves got in there and made him go a little wider, and then when he tried to cut, he lost footing.
Barry Hargraves will make a lot of people go wider. He's a bit. We ran this same play against him, and he did this. He stays at home pretty well, and then the footing's so slippery, and he caused him just enough to have to change his route to where he wanted to run the football.
Chenault was waiting for him had he not fallen. It'll be 3rd down, and let's call it 14 for Norcom. Bootleg right side, that play they like so well. Over the middle, incomplete. And players falling down all over the place. That field rather slippery.
Well, that was Allen Iverson that fell down because I think he figured he could have intercepted that ball.
So it stops the clock with 6:45 left in the half.
Again, they ran the bootleg, and if they keep going to this bootleg in this situation, Iverson's going to catch on. And again, he threw this up for grabs. I don't like, he just kind of laid it up, and if Iverson hadn't slipped, he might have picked that up.
Hargraves puts a little bit of pressure. Not Hargraves, rather, that's 65. Kicking it away from Iverson. Iverson picks it up anyway and goes out of bounds close to the 40-yard line.
You kick it short, you let it bounce, Bill, he still gets it.
Well, what they should have done, what we told our kids, when that ball's on the ground, don't let it bounce against him. Just get on it, because that's what he'll do. He'll come up and pick it up, and the kids will relax.
They'll mark it at the 35-yard line, so the Bruins with great field position with 6.5 minutes to go in the half. Bill, how important is it for the Bruins to try and get one more score here? Would this be a big boost for them?
Well, of course, yeah. If they could get another score here right now before the half and possibly tie it up, it'd be a great momentum into the second half with them receiving the ball also.
Iverson throwing for Kirk. Kirk well covered on the play. Octavius Brothers, number 20, had Kirk covered pretty well. He almost dropped that pass in there, though, in spite of the coverage.
Well, that's a 3-step drop, what I talked about earlier. They're not, they're just going to take 3 steps and drop it. The wideout just ran a fly, and he just laid it out there, and he did, that's, he keeps throwing that enough, they might hit that before the night's out. They're really working. That's the same corner Hampton worked on last week.
On the draw play, this is big Bobby Sims, and Sims is going to be short of the first down, but it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2 for the Bruins.
Bill, Sims hadn't started playing fullback until Matt Harris got hurt. He runs a little straight up for a fullback, and of course it's probably because he hadn't played much.
Yeah, well, I think Matt's probably in there more for blocking purposes. So, but he ran hard on that particular play.
Big 3rd down for the Bruins, and we got an Norcom man in the neutral zone. Let's see if he was drawn off, or did he jump? It'll be a 1st down for Bethel if he was in that neutral zone, and he was. So that's the call. Encroachment will give the 1st down to Bethel. So
good ball foul. Encroachment. Defense.
That's a nice way to pick up a 1st down.
Well, that good hard cat will do it for you sometimes, but Norcom has been very patient prior to this.
Well, they're so aggressive up front.
Ball is at the 23-yard line. Iverson looking. Trying to find an open man. He tries to turn the corner, and he is driven out of bounds hard. Bit of a scuffle on the sidelines here.
They need to just get away from that.
Everybody's fine. It was just one of those things that kind of rushed over to make sure no one had the advantage.
Well, if you're going to do something like that, you don't want to do it on Norcom's side that close to the bench.
You got to pick a better area than that. He just dropped 3-step. Receiver wasn't open. And he ran to the outside, and again, Norcom's got great team speed. Contained them, I can't see how much he gained, but he gained some yards, and this is just a good hit. And it happened to keep, he hit him in bounds and continued out of bounds. It's just an aggressive play.
Yeah, there was nothing flagrant about that at all.
No, he hit him 3 yards in bounds.
He picked up another 3 yards with his stiff arm.
Yeah, that was a clean play.
Gain of almost 4 on the play. Let's call it 2nd down. Let's call it 2nd down and 7. A long 3 on the pickup by Iverson. Iverson has a man open, completes the pass at the 10-yard, touchdown!
Big play. And that was just a hook and go by number 7 for the Bruins. And that's Kirk. Tim, 5'10", 156 senior. I know he's tickled about that. Nice. And Allen looked at it the whole time, Bill.
Yeah, he from my angle here, it looked like he was looking to set him up, and he just caught the ball and took it to the end zone. He delivered that ball really well, too. That was right on the money. They'll go for 2 in this situation.
35 yards, 4 plays. It took a minute and 4. So a huge play for the Bruins here just before half. Iverson rolling, looking, throws over the middle. No, incomplete. Kelly Rogers was the intended receiver. Doesn't really make any difference. You're down by 1 extra point, 2 extra points doesn't make any difference.
That's the thing to do in that situation, would go for 2. And when, believe me, when you're the other coach and they're going for 2, you're concerned, especially with Iverson. Now this is Twins right. He's sprint. Oh, this is the touchdown. This is a touchdown play. He just ran a little hook, and then he made a good move. He got to the end zone. That ball was delivered perfectly. Just when
at lower center of gravity, he made the cut, and the defensive back couldn't. Slipped a little bit, and just half a second.
He came back away from his cut and just caught them going the other way, and they ran with the ball real well. The thing on that play, it's got to be thrown. The timing's got to be real good on that, and he delivered the ball perfectly.
So a big touch here for the Bruins with 5:29 remaining. They took a minute and 4 to score after that punt and return by Allen Iverson.
Well, the defense set that up with a great defensive play the series before and forced Norcom to punt. And, of course, Allen got the ball anyway and picked up some extra yardage. But
I'm really
great
impressed
job
with Bethel's first half of play. I'm very impressed.
They're playing very well. You're right. The defense set up that field position.
Relatively short kick by the Bruins, and it's touched and it goes out of bounds, but it was touched inbounds, so it will not be a penalty. It will be set up at the, well, let's see, about the 22-yard line. I think the Bruins have proven to themselves that they can very much play with this Norcom team if there was any area.
Oh, yeah, I think there's no question. They feel like this is a short kick. I'm surprised Norcom hasn't made some type of adjustment to deep people because they're hitting a dead area right here, and their back people need to step up and catch that ball in the air and not let it bounce around.
There you saw Mr. Intense himself, Coach Dennis Kozlowski in your picture a moment ago from Bethel. This is Terry Ricks, and Ricks is stopped at the 25-yard line. Bruins doing a good job of containment that time. Coming up to finish it off was Devan Hill, number 1, and others.
I think Iverson was up there also.
Yes, he was. He came up from his safety, but he read run all the way, so he came up.
Yeah, this is their off. This is like a sweep play. He looks for the crack, and when he turns in, Iverson fills it right from center field.
Gained about 3 on the play, did Ricks. 2nd down and 7. Clock running with 4:50 left in the first half. Again, that bootleg play. Sykes throws incomplete, intended for Lamont Burns, not even close to him. And flag down.
Had a little bit of water that time. There is a flag down.
We'll have to wait and see. I have no idea what this one might be. It appeared to be at the line of scrimmage. Ron Cherry will show us it's holding against Norcom.
Big penalty. Take it, wouldn't you, Bill?
Yeah, you take those big ones this deep in their territory. You know, you want to force them back as far as you can because Bethel's defense is playing great right now, and they could end up with great field position again.
This is that bootleg again.
Well, I think they're faking that off that play with Ricks. It's a little different than the bootleg. They're looking for the quick out here, and just timing wasn't there in the play, and somebody held. So
looked like 44 might have been holding. Looked like he got a hold of one of the Bruin linemen on that play, but that's just a guess. 2nd down. Repeat the down, but it's 2nd down at about 18 now. In the flat at the 20-yard line, and Devan Hill will make sure that Larry Staten goes no further with it.
Well, he did a good job putting his helmet right in his chest that time. I mean, he was really squared up as far as the tackler, Hill.
Just held him to a minimal gain, and you This is just a quick hitch. It looks like a quick drop. Yeah, and he just throws a quick hitch right here, about a 5-6 yard hitch, and he's just looking to get as much as he can, gain back some of that yards from the penalty. And he did a great job in just getting his head across, not letting him get any further than a 5 or 6 yards.
And he lowered his center of gravity a little bit too, so he less chance to slip.
He did an excellent job.
3rd down and 8 for the Greyhounds. Again, that bootleg, and the Bruins miss the quarterback Sykes. Then he throws incomplete. Almost picked off by Bethel.
Iverson.
Allen Iverson with the headlong plunge for the ball, but that ball was actually well off the mark.
That kid plays all out at every play, doesn't he, Bill?
Well, he does a great job in reading the quarterback's eyes. Yeah, this was the bootleg play. Fakes it right there, and then he comes back and he's looking deep. And right now, Iverson's watching his eyes, and he sees him looking down this way and makes a great break on the ball. Overthrew his receiver, and then Iverson just missed it.
Short punt. They will not allow Iverson to return this one. And
But
again,
great
the Bruins,
field possession.
49-yard line, their own 49. By the way, I want to take a second and applaud. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to applaud when we come back after a brief timeout. We'll return to Western Branch High School in just 1 minute. Back to the live action. This is the pass completion to Kelly Rogers. Allen Iverson to Rogers inside the 40 at the 37-yard line.
Well, what they might have been setting these up, Bill, with their long passes. Now they're going down, breaking them off. And you think maybe that's what they have done?
I think what they probably wanted to do is get their DBs looking, okay, here, this is rollout. They got McCaskill staying in and blocking the defensive end and just hitting these quick passes. And he just, one more man here, and he might have broke this one. I think you're right, Bob. They might have been setting them up, running them off deep early.
Got the first down at the 37-yard line. This time rolling to his left. Iverson has time. And now throws just as he goes down. A flag will go down. Now, will this be grounding? Probably. What I wanted to do, Bill, if I can interrupt you, I wanted to applaud our crew, our camera work so far, these guys, as they have all year long. They're doing just a great job, as you can tell from our replays.
They're doing a great job on the instant replay, so you can really get a good view of what he's sprinting left. He's looking for a receiver real quick here, and he can't find him. He's doing what he likes to do, bounce around. In this situation, he had nowhere to go, and I don't know if he had a receiver picked out down there. I don't see one close by, and I think that's why they called what they did.
He took a pretty good lick as he was going down, too. That young man zeroed in on him.
He had a lot of time to give the
pass.
They're keeping their tight ends to protect.
That also occurs a loss of down.
And that causes a loss of down. Not only do you get the penalty, loss of down, sometimes it's wise to eat the ball, take the loss, and not lose it down.
Yeah, Allen just doesn't know how to eat that football. Well, the Bruins backed up all the way to their 43-yard line. Iverson steps up, gets away from one would-be tackler. What great quickness this young man has. Down the sideline, stripped up at the 40-yard line, back basically to the original line of scrimmage.
I know the fans over on this side are wondering, what do I got to do to stop this guy? He's so elusive. Watch this on the replay.
And he's only a junior, guys.
Yeah, well, you don't need to remind me of that. All right, he takes a straight drop back. He's looking downfield. Now, there was a crease right there. He hit it quick, and he just hit. He can see the whole field, and he gained a lot of ground quick. He backed down. He got down to about the 30-yard line.
They mark it at the 30.
Well, you show some quickness there, Tim. Excuse me. That was number 51, Brian Water, that caught him. So, and he's a defensive linebacker. That's the speed you were talking about.
They all have speed. They can all run.
Third down, and let's call it 5. Iverson with a short drop. Kelly Rogers is picked off. Iverson has the beat on the young man who picked it off and gets him, but not before. I see Norcom intercepts. That is Ronald Hawkins. The man who does the extra point kicking and plays defense as well.
That ball may have just gone through the receiver's hands. I never got a good shot look at it.
The Hawkins is a linebacker, and it looks like he gets underneath this right here and cuts right in front. Well, it looked like maybe it was overthrown a little bit, and he was in good position. He got a good drop. I couldn't tell if he was man or if he was in zone.
So Allen Iverson makes sure it was no return for a touch. Ball is marked at the 48-yard line. Norcom leading by 14-12. We're inside of 3 minutes to go in the first half.
They're trying to call timeout over there. They don't have enough men on the field or something.
Ricks across midfield to about the 46-yard line. I believe both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. I'm trying to recall if either team has called a timeout.
I don't believe so, Tim.
Here's your
They're in trips here. I think they're looking to possibly spread it out, and then they try to hit Ricks right up the middle. Looks like it looked like a quick trap, and a pretty good gain, about 5 or 6 yards.
gain of, let's call it 5 on the play. 2nd and 5. We're down to 2:13 and moving. And Sykes loses his footing in that probably the worst spot on the field. Let me tell you though, folks, as bad as this field is tonight, it would have been horrible last night.
And this is what we talked about earlier, that the field last night would have played more for Bethel, but as wet as it is still maybe advantageous to Bethel.
They had trips here, and they were running some type of pattern, probably some type of crossing pattern, and he just falls down. He just has no chance. Bethel's getting good pressure on him, which kept him moving, and that caused some problems for him.
And that brings up a 3rd and really long.
They're down at about 17 for Norcom, and now a timeout is being called by the Greyhounds, I believe. Yep, that's who it is. So Norcom will call a timeout.
In the first half.
I want to remind you to tune in this Wednesday, December the 2nd, for a live cable cast from Channel 5 Studios. The program will give information on starting your own business. Be sure and watch this coming Wednesday, December the 2nd at 8 p.m. right here on Channel 5.
So if you want to start your own business, Tim, tune in. That's right. Now, you got to come to Hampton to get that. You got to leave Newport News and come to Hampton to pick that up.
I don't need to start my own business. Well, you know, I'm going to get a chance to see the interception again that occurred when Iverson, it looked like it might have been tipped.
Yeah, Hawkins intercepts the ball. I thought he cut in front, but he was behind the receiver. And it looks like the ball was just a little bit behind the receiver and went through his hands, and the linebacker was in good position. And Iverson saved the touchdown here because he had nothing but sideline.
You'll see come quickly into your picture a white shirted boy.
Yeah, that because 66 was in good position, but 44 has great speed, and I don't know if 66 could have caught him.
Iverson made sure he didn't have to worry about that. 1:26 left in the half. It's 3rd down and 17 for the Greyhounds. From the shotgun, Sykes wants to throw long. He whips it out there. Hill almost brought it in, and a flag goes down.
Oh, I don't know about that flag.
I'll tell you what, that's interference. I
have to disagree. That official was 20 yards back from the action, and I don't know how he could call that.
Well, sometime wonder about. It looks to me like they're both going for the football.
It really
I
did.
couldn't see how.
Let's see if we can pick it up.
Now Sykes, he's really letting it fly here. He's thrown 2 pretty deep passes tonight.
Interesting. Offensive pass interference is the call.
And and one way or the other, I still think both young men were going for the ball.
I can't see a flag in that.
No, I
thought they were going to call defense. I just think they're both playing the football.
What a tremendous effort on the part of Larry Staten. He just never gave up on that ball. So a real unpopular call here on this side of the field. And I think I agree with you. It was really a no call from the word go on that one.
And that brings a 4th down. Because they lose loss of down again, right?
Yeah, that's
Bill?
a loss of down. That's a tough penalty. And now you got to kick to Iverson or kick it in his direction.
And it looked like they're pooching it and not trying to kick it real deep.
The Bruins make a token effort to put pressure on the punter, and they in fact kick it well along the sidelines. I'm not sure it'll ever will go out of bounds. So that's a perfect kick.
That's about as good as you can get against him, is to the sideline, and where he can't come up and pick it up.
So now the Bruins will start from their 40-yard line in what has been an incredibly lengthy first half. A lot of passes, a lot of incompletions, a lot of out-of-bounds plays, and a lot of possession changes. But the Bruins with one last chance here. The clock is running with less than a minute to go in the first half. Allen Iverson has 2 wide receivers to the near side and 1 to the left. Allen looking, throwing over the middle, completes the pass to Terrell. Terrell looking for a block, got one, and he is down at the 45-yard line. That'll be a first down.
And that'll also stop the clock because he's got 3 timeouts.
He's got plenty of time. He's got time. He's got his 3 timeouts.
And then we have a timeout. And watch the replay on this, Bill.
He steps up in the pocket. No, he's done a pretty good job of, and he's hitting them over the middle, which is where Norcom wants him to get. They're going to give him that right now with this, 37 seconds, and Norcom does a good job coming up and make the play. But if they can get a couple of those, they can be in good position right here.
Well, that ball was kind of loose, and that was young man from a backside hit. That ball is out of there.
Yeah, Norcom. That's the thing you got to really protect that football because they'll come up and really give you a good smack and try. I would like to see their statistics on turnovers. I bet you their takeaways are their high percentage compared to what they've given up.
Clock stops with 37 seconds remaining in the first half. Of course, this is a single elimination. If the Bruins win, they will advance to next Saturday afternoon's game up at Richmond Stadium. I believe their opponent would be Thomas Dale.
No, Huguenot.
Huguenot upset Thomas Dale, I believe.
He has 14-7 or.
I don't think it was Thomas Dale. I think it was
John Marshall.
John Marshall. Yeah, who was 10-1.
Thomas Dale won.
Thomas Dale's Division 6. And Huguenot upset John Marshall.
At any rate, we still have plenty of time left to determine who will go to that game. And the Bruins in a pretty good position, trailing by just 2 points here as they have the ball at the 45-yard line of IC Norcom. Allen Iverson over the center. One back, and that is Sims. He'll block. Iverson rifles it to Terrell at the 25-yard line.
Nice catch. And that's just a slant pattern. Nice throw on a ball and nice catch. And again, we have another timeout. Bethel, that's their second one.
Now this brings up an interesting situation because you mentioned
second timeout for Bethel. Second timeout.
You heard Ron Cherry tell us that's their second timeout. Wilton Evans, who missed the extra point early, as we watched the replay of that last pass.
This was a deep post they threw on this. Iverson's delivering the ball real well, and Terrell did a good job of catching this ball. He's going, the thing, you got to have some courage to go over the middle and catch this ball against Norcom's defense. And he does that's right on the money, and he covers the ball up, and they're in real good. What are they down about the 20, 25-yard line? They're in good field position
well,
right
that's
now.
what I was starting to get to, Bill, is that you got Wilton Evans who kicked a couple of late-season field goals. If you could get a field goal here and put yourself ahead at halftime, boy, what a great lift that would be.
If you can have the lead by half, that's a great thing to build on.
And you got the ball to start
and you
second
get the
half.
ball in the second half.
By the way, Terrell only caught 2 passes during the regular season. By the way, and I want to take this opportunity to thank my good friends down at the Daily Press, Mike Keats, Sonny Durth, Eric Pugh, Al Pierce, Tony Anthony, all these sports writers for the Daily Press for all of their help all season long in giving us these statistics, bringing these games to you. I really appreciate it, guys, down at the DP. 28 seconds remaining in the half. Iverson short drop, throws, completes the pass. Kirk gets out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Hit rather late out of bounds, but no penalty flag at the 20. And our cameraman, Ron Baton, took the big fall.
I tell you, he's trying to get a good shot. He wanted to get low and get a good shot.
Never even lost focus, our director's telling me.
He's
Here's
focused.
the replay. Well, we may not get to the replay. Yeah, we'll
That's
do
a
it real
quick out. Iverson's really delivering the ball well right now, and he gets out of bounds and stops the clock. That's where you got to throw.
Stops the clock with 22 seconds and 1 timeout remaining. Iverson throwing deep, and he just threw that one away in the vicinity of Terrell.
Well, he was being blocked and held down the field and couldn't get on the rest of his route that time, and legally that's okay.
In high school, you can hit the receiver as long as the ball's not there. it's not like the pros where after, I believe, 5 yards, you have to let them go. So Norcom, that's their style of play, and I think that they wanted to get Terrell deeper. I think he was running deeper, but the kid just held him up.
3rd down and 5 at the 20. Want to get a little closer if they can't get it into the end zone. And Iverson being chased, rolling to his left, and he will be sacked. So Iverson in that ever tough position of rolling to his left, a right-handed thrower, just an impossible situation for him. And that takes him out of field goal range if they ever were.
Well, and then you got 5 seconds, so this time if you're going to throw the ball, you got to get it in the end zone.
Timeout for an injury.
You got an injury.
Official timeout for an injury.
Injury timeout.
Watch the sack this time.
Yeah, he's sprinting all the way to the left here. I think he was looking for Kelly Rogers deep in the, but he just didn't have time to throw it, and he's looking to get out of bounds. But Norcom really, and I think he did get out of bounds. Norcom's just got great quickness on defense. It's hard to outrun them. Right now, I think you got a situation with 5 seconds, 4th down. Bethel's just going to go to the end zone.
Oh, they're looking like a field goal again, but I really don't believe they're going to go for a field goal.
Unless they've imported somebody in over the week. I don't know if he can reach this.
That would be a 42-yarder. Going to put it down at about the 32-yard line. If he does.
Well, maybe this kid has hit them in practice this far. A lot of times, their range in practice is a lot farther than what you see in the game. They drew him off sides.
Got motion on the offense.
Was that on offense?
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't help. You don't need 5 more yards in this situation.
Well, I think in retrospect, I don't think they were going for it at all. They were going to try and pull them off with something, and it didn't work.
that might be. They were probably looking to get 5 yards in the other direction.
Dead ball, full start, offense. 5-yard penalty. Timeout, Bethel.
So the Bruins will call their
last chance timeout.
3rd timeout of the half. 4 seconds remaining. Got 1 down. Bill, do you maybe try and flood the end zone?
Usually, just take it up and throw it to one of your kids in the end zone. They've got a couple kids they can go to, and you don't have time for anything else. And you don't want to give up the ball, so you just go to throw deep to the end zone, and Iverson can get there. Plus, you got to be Larry Iverson scrambling the football. You can't forget that, because he can hit you right. If he doesn't get anybody, he can take it in. And I think that's something the Norcom coaches are going to have to tell their kids.
The clock started inadvertently and ran off the remaining 4 seconds, or maybe it was supposed to be 5 seconds.
There's 5 seconds on the clock. So they're going to have to wait for the clock to get down to the 5 seconds.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Both sides of this field have seen a very fine first half of football. It's been entertaining, to say the least. A full house here at Western Branch in Chesapeake. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and Bill D. of the Phoebus Phantoms. This game in the second half should be very interesting, and we'll get some comments just before the start of the second half. Bill, I'd like to see what, from a coach's point of view, how you would make adjustments, what you're trying to do at halftime. The Bruins are going to have one last play here as they'll get the clock down to that 5-second range. They had 5 on there, lost a second during the timeout, and then therefore had to reset it. There you see the Bruin mascot down in the end zone. He'd like very much to greet one of his Bethel High School players in the end zone. But it will probably be the last play of the first half. Iverson airs it out for Rogers. It is picked off. So it's intercepted in the end zone with no time remaining, and that was as good a play as you could come up with, I guess. As O'Neal Sykes, the two-way player for the Greyhounds, makes the interception in the end zone. And we have played 24 minutes. Our score, as you watch the replay of that first half ending play, Norcom 14, Bethel 12.
Yeah, Iverson's looking for Kelly Rogers all the way, throws it deep, and this is a good play because if he misplays it or gets a tip, they got a chance for 6 points, and right for the end zone. The Sykes kid he can play both sides of the football. I'm real impressed. I was real impressed with him last week, and he did a great job. He's doing a great job this week also.
All right, a score at halftime. IC Norcom 14, Bethel 12. We'll return with the second half of action after a brief timeout.
Your informational source of the Hampton City School System, WHCS Cable TV 5.
Norcom marching band coming off the field. A great halftime presentation by the Greyhound marching band. If you've ever had the pleasure to see this young group, they are spectacular. And I guess spectacular would be the word of the day for the first half, as we have a 14-12 score with IC Norcom in front of the Bruins. Statistics at halftime. The Bruins with 9 first downs, 5 for the Greyhounds. Bruins had 6 of those passing as Allen Iverson threw the ball 19 times during the first half, completed 8 of those for 102 yards. He was sacked twice for 18 yards. His longest pass completion was 21 yards. That was to Terrell, and he had 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. One of those, of course, that last play of the first half in the corner of the end zone, a very excellent play on his part, trying to get that ball to Kelly Rogers with time running out in the first half. Third down efficiencies, the Bruins just 14%, 1 of 7, but better than the Greyhounds, because the Greyhounds have 0 for 6. Total net yards, you see there, 149 for the Bruins, 158 for Norcom, so about as close as you could possibly get. Net rushing, the Bruins with 47, Greyhounds with 78. Total passing yards, well, that says that's not quite correct. The passing yards is 102 for the Bruins and a total of 80 for the Greyhounds. Pass completions, you see there, 19 attempts, 8 completions, 3 interceptions for Bethel. 5 of 12 with no interceptions for Sykes of Norcom. Look at the time of possession, 6:47. That, by the way, is not 20-13, but in fact 17-13 is the time of possession for Norcom. Almost 3 times as long, and of course that would be from the fact that the Bruins never really established any kind of running game in the first half. They relied almost exclusively on the passes.
Well, one of their touchdowns came from the kickoff return of Allen Iverson, so they weren't moving the ball down the field, and I was really taken aback by that statistic. I thought, well, yeah, the Bruins had the ball more. They may have, but the clock wasn't running either when they had the ball a lot of times.
Bill, let me ask you, we talked about this during our halftime break. What kind of adjustments might you make if you were the Bethel coach here to begin the second half?
Well, I think, you have to approach it. The one long run they had against them, they haven't played bad defense versus the run. They overran the play. So you want to talk about the kids keeping their pursuit angles, not overrunning the ball, and don't give up on Ricks. If you see 3-4 guys at him, you keep on coming. You guys get as many hands on him as you possibly can, and don't let up, because that kid can break the big play at any time. They haven't really played the run. I think 79 yards, that's not a lot of yardage. The pass play that's hurt him is the bootleg. I think they might want to look for that play in certain situations, be a little bit more, I think that's the thing. They've thrown that a lot on third down and then second down when they needed a big play. So I don't think Bethel is playing bad defense. They've given up a couple of big plays that have really hurt them. Outside of that, they have played excellent defense.
The Bruins have played well in the first half on both sides of the ball. Allen Iverson has thrown the ball a little more often than one might expect, 19 attempts. Do you think that maybe the Bruins need to establish, or at least attempt to establish the running game?
Well, I think you have to be able to run the ball some in order to win. I think you're dropping back there. They're really starting to get some pressure on Iverson. I think they need to take some of that off by trying to run the ball. They got good running backs. Jackson's almost gained 1,000 yards this year. I think if they could get some type of running game and then mix it up a little bit, they'd get the pressure off Iverson and even be more effective throwing the ball.
Well, and I think maybe the defense has stopped their running game, so they have gone to the pass. And you're saying, Bill, that they're putting a lot of pressure on Iverson. That would a draw play would work, a screen play would work. You got to do something to kind of negate that big pass rush they're getting on Allen.
Something quick. They had Jackson the first play of the game. He broke about a 7-8 yard run. Something quick up the middle. I think you got to stay patient. They're going to stop you. They have a good defense. They come across hard. But if you keep at them, I think you can wear them down a little bit and loosen them up a little bit.
And certainly Jackson has the quickness and the speed. We saw that against Lake Taylor. Jackson got going in the second half after being used sparingly in the first half. Really not dissimilar to this game.
Yeah, he's got great speed. I don't know what his speed is, but I know it's fast. And if he gets a little open and he can break it, and he's a hard runner. He's not a very big kid, but he runs hard. So I really, if they could establish a little bit more in the run and mix it up some, because they got big play potential offensively anytime the ball's in Iverson's hands, and he's thrown those timing patterns really well.
Individual statistics in the first half find Iverson the leading rusher with a total of 27 yards. He really had 45 yards rushing, but that 18 yards in the sack department cut him back a bit. He had the longest run, a 23-yarder. Jackson only carried the ball 4 times, had 12 net yards, and his longest one was for 9 yards. And Bobby Sims carried twice for a total of 8 yards, 12 carries for 66 gross yards. After the negative yardage is subtracted as 47 yards, a 3.9 per carry average for the Bruins. Iverson, as we mentioned, 8 of 19 throwing for 102 yards and 1 touchdown. Rogers caught 3 of those passes for 33 yards. The longest was 13. Kirk also 3. He got the touchdown. That was a 33-yard gain, a total for him in the first half, and the longest one was 19. That was the touchdown pass. And then Terrell had 2 catches and equaled his season-long totals in that department for a total of 36 yards, 8 passes, 102 yards. Sykes, on the other hand, 5 of 12 for 80 yards. He was sacked 3 times for 26 yards. One of those sacks was when he slipped down for a substantial loss in the second quarter. He did throw a touchdown pass. That was the 38-yarder that he threw to Ricks. That was Rick's only catch, as Staten also had 1 for 9. And Burns, 3 catches. Lamont Burns, 3 catches, 33 yards, and a touchdown for the IC Norcom Greyhounds. Interceptions, White had 1, Hawkins had 1, and the Greyhounds had a total of 3 in the first half. By the scoring by quarters, it was 7-0 as Ricks ran 66 yards. The kick was good with 5:35 left in the first quarter. Bethel returned the favor on the ensuing kickoff. Allen Iverson, 85 yards, and the kick try by Wilton Evans was no good, making the score 7-6. Then Burns caught a 14-yard pass from Sykes, and Hawkins kicked the extra point again, making it 14-6 with 1:22 remaining in the first quarter. And then with 1:04 left in the half, the Bruins scored on a 19-yard pass from Kirk, not 1:04, but rather 5:29 left in the half. Took 1 minute and 4 seconds, 12 plays, and the Bruins cut that lead down to 2 points. Iverson's attempt to pass for the extra 2 points fell incomplete. Good defense by the Greyhounds, and that's how we stand at halftime, 14-12. Neither team has made their reappearance onto the field here. It might seem as if they're trying to outweight each other as far as returning to the field, or they might be trying to get a little rest, as that was quite.
Well, they may be cleaning their shoes off, trying to get some or change cleats or do something. I don't know, but there's a lot of slipping going on the field out here.
I want to again remind you to tune in this Wednesday, December the 2nd, for a live cablecast from Channel 5 Studios. The program will give information on starting your own business. Be sure to watch it here on Channel 5 at Hampton, Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Channel 5.
And also, while we got this break, before we get the second half started, we will pick a player of the game from Bethel High School tonight. This is a DC Engraving Sports Place player of the game. They will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from DC Engraving, located on Route 17. And Dave Buckwalter is a young man out there. The shirt comes from the Sports Place located at Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road. Dave Chubb is a young man there. We sure appreciate all the efforts of these two establishments to help us select one of the players of the game, and it is very unscientific, as we said before. It does not reflect on their other players. There's a tremendous amount of good players on all these teams from the Hampton area.
Also, again, we want to remind you that Channel 5 will begin cablecasting a program called Storytelling each Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Storytelling features Hampton teachers and is correlated with the system's reading program and emphasizes the whole language interdisciplinary approach. Viewers will be exposed to some of the materials used to teach young learners. Join your child and watch Channel 5 each Tuesday and Thursday for Storytelling here at 6 p.m. on Channel 5.
Well, also on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they've got the thing called Homework 2000, which is a live call-in show with teachers and students that will answer questions on math and science, which is a tremendous success for Channel 5.
And that's at 7 p.m., I believe, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Incidentally, I haven't had the opportunity to wish you and Bill a happy Thanksgiving. I hope both of you had a tremendous Thanksgiving day.
Well, I know you ate most of the turkey. You told me you really went off your diet.
I had to be very careful. My wife said it was a bad day for turkeys and that I should be very cautious that day.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's no time to be cautious.
That's for sure, and I haven't been. I'm back counting fat grams tomorrow. I'll be on the trail out at Mariners Museum doing my 5 miles, my Sunday morning ritual. I've got to do that. This game is being videotaped for your pleasure, live on tape, Saturday night. What is this, Bob? 28th of November, 1992. The Bethel Bruins seeking to advance to the state semifinals. With the victory tonight, this team could go to a game next Saturday at 11 a.m. And of course, the Bruins have to overcome a 2-point deficit. The IC Norcom Greyhounds, 11-0 through the season here. And I mentioned before, the Bruins are just 4 points away from being an 11-0 team. So certainly they've shown their mettle here in the first half. IC Norcom, Bill, what do you see that the Greyhounds might do differently to try and contain Allen Iverson? Is there a way to do that?
Well, I think they're going to continue to try to bring the pressure like they have. Bethel's been keeping their tight ends blocking their ends, and they're much bigger than their ends. But I think they're going to trying to keep match their quickness against them and keep them inside. Iverson's throwing the ball well. He threw the timing patterns pretty well, but I think they'd rather see that than him running to the outside and making things happen.
Well, we saw in the first half that he will do just that, and of course you're right. Again, the reason for them to try and develop that running game is to take some of the pressure off of Iverson. In the second quarter, the Norcom team was getting to Iverson pretty well.
Yeah, I think in the second quarter they really got to him, and he's taking some good hits. And you just don't want your quarterback getting hit that much. And he threw the ball. He got a penalty on one play where he, intentional grounding and so forth. So they're starting to get a little bit more pressure. I think if they can get a good drive here, mix it up some, they're going to get the ball. I think it'll be interesting to see if Norcom will kick the ball. They should end up with good field position because I don't think they're going to kick the ball to Iverson. I think they're going to kick it short.
As we can see in the middle of the field, the Bruins will get the ball as Chris Gaskell is back to representing the tri-captains for the Bruins. Ron Cherry and his group out there in the middle of the field getting ready to start this contest have done a good job tonight under conditions that are not real favorable to the runner who's going to make quick cuts.
And I would think that the field is deteriorating in its play as time goes on, wouldn't you say, Bill?
Yeah, it's going to get worse. You can see where it's really chewed up, especially on this side of the field right here about the 40-yard line. It's really chewed up where the Sykes kid slipped before.
And there you can see a good shot from our sideline camera. He is CBS baiting down there on the sideline. In fact, at one time he was down even with the ground.
You can see they have the ball. Looks like they have the ball tilted to the side, so they're going to just try to.
They're going to kind of squib kick it. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
All right, we're set to go. 1/2 remains for one of these two teams. Which team it will be remains to be determined. The ball will go out of bounds at the 19-yard line, or excuse me, the 14-yard line, rather.
They'll just take it at the 35.
Bruins have that option of taking it at the 35 or making them kick it over. Of course, with Allen Iverson being so explosive, you want to give him a chance to get his hands on the ball. Now, they're marking the ball at the 19 as if.
Now, that's just his option.
Well, I understand that, but you know, it looks like they're marking for play. I can't believe that they would make the Bruins take it at the 19. They want to know. Allen Iverson is looking over the sideline to see if they're going to make them kick it over. And it looks like they will. Could have had it at the 35.
Well, that's where they're going to take it, at the 35. They waved off the penalty.
Okay, so they won't kick it over. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to get it at the 35.
So
and that was kind of a dangerous kick because you wasn't sure if it was going to go out of bounds or not in a soggy field.
Yeah, he couldn't let that roll much longer.
So the Bruins will start from their 35-yard line. Allen Iverson with one lone setback, and that lone setback is Bobby Sims, the fake to Sims. Iverson trying to turn the corner, and Iverson will not be able to do so.
A good defensive play on that side, not letting Allen get outside. I didn't catch the number on that.
It almost looked like he's setting up something for later on with that play. I can't believe that he's doing just a straight run.
Well, I think to be honest, I think they were just trying to get him the outside because he's not even looking to throw it. And the defensive end did a great job turning it back in.
And that was number 47, and I don't have him on
42.
my roster.
David Turner, 42.
Was that Turner? Okay.
So a loss on the play of, let's call it a loss of 4. Quick pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Terrell was the intended receiver. And one of those big IC Norcom linemen got their hand on the ball. So that stops the clock here in the third quarter and brings up a third down and about 13 for the Bruins. Watch this again.
They have trips over here. It looks like he's just trying to release the ball off quick to somebody.
Well, it looks like number 25, Terrell, just went real short and stopped and was right there.
Yeah, right there on the out. And he's wide open. There's nobody there. It's fortunately somebody knocked the ball from Norcom, but he's wide open.
They're running trips again, Bill.
Iverson throws incomplete for Kirk. Demerick Kirk could not make the catch. And then the Bruins will be forced to kick the ball.
Great defensive job by the Norcom Greyhounds to start the second half, Bill.
That's a great way to start the half. Bethel lost 3 or 4 yards on that possession. Now they're going to get good, probably the best field position they've had in a while.
As you can tell, we're on the Norcom side, and they are giving their defense a standing ovation.
Kevin Melvin back deep to punt. Long count by the Bruins. A high snap to Melvin, and he got good pressure. He is hit. There will be a penalty on the play. This run back will be for naught, and out of bounds on the near sidelines at the 40-yard line, but a penalty flag back.
And that will be a big penalty because that will give them the first down because it's less than 15.
On the return for the Greyhounds.
That's a big play right there.
It was a high snap as we see here, Bill.
Yeah, it's high snap. You consider they have 10 people up there because they got 1 man deep. The kid does a good job recovering and getting the snap. And they just came too deep. You got to take a better angle to the ball. And when he comes, there's no question. He hits him right across the waist, and that's roughing the kicker. And that's a big play right there. Instead of getting the ball back with great field position, now they give Bethel a chance to get the ball again.
Roughing the kicker. Defense, automatic first. Here we go, first down.
So it is an automatic first down, and that does give the Bruins life at the 47-yard line. Could turn out to be a big play. So the defense for the Greyhounds, who really were only on the field for less than 7 minutes in the first half, will have to dig in now against the Bruins. The Bruins were not impressive on those first 3 downs of the second half. The blitz is on. He gets it away. This is Terrell. A good open field tackle prevents a huge gain.
I'm impressed. Whoa, that's Brian Water again.
Brian Wadler prevented Terrell from picking up big yardage. We'll see this on the replay.
That's another play, the same play. They have trips. The two outside receivers clear out, and Terrell comes underneath it on the quick out. And there is nothing down the sideline. If Waller doesn't make this tackle right here, he's possibly gone for a touchdown. There was nothing there.
Ball is marked at the 49 of IC Norcom. Second down and about 5. Good protection for Iverson. Spots Rogers open. Rogers goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A first down.
Well, the first half he was throwing a lot of deep passes, and this half start off, Bill, he's taking the short one, getting the good yardage. Could have broke that one with Terrell. Here we
this is just a quick out by. There's no, but I mean they've got about a 10, 12-yard cushion. All they've got to do is take their time and throw the ball. They pretty much can have that play right there. They're giving it to them.
Norcom has called a timeout.
And you know, coaching standpoint, they're doing something a little different here at Bruins, and you've got to make some adjustments. So it's not a bad timeout.
No, they had the ball. The kids might be a little down after losing the ball. After roughing the kicker. Now Bethel's got a little momentum. They got a first down. They've got trips. They might want to make a little adjustment to the trips because they're getting burnt with it right now.
Here you see some of the fans in attendance. What would appear to be a sellout. People surrounding the end zone to our right, at least, and the stand's pretty full here at Western Branch. Bill, what do you think about having these games played at a neutral site like Foreman Field or something like that, where you could seat a whole lot more people?
Well, I think for these Eastern Regional Finals, I mean, I think you'd get a lot bigger crowd at a neutral site. I think the schools, I wouldn't mind playing it at a neutral site if I thought the crowd you could seat 10, 12,000, because this is a tough situation to fit that many people.
Bruins with a first down at the 40-yard line. Again, Iverson to throw, and again he completes the pass. This one to Kelly Rogers for a gain of about 5 to the 35-yard line. So the Bruins continue to have success throwing the football. They're not really making any attempt to disguise that fact.
Well, that was Jeremy Glover, number 22, the defensive back on that side. Did a good job coming up. As you can watch this.
Again, it's just a quick out to Kelly Rogers, and they're getting 5 yards a pop. The Norcom defenders are giving them that play.
And you also, with that wet field, Bill, you always have the chance of someone breaking one. This is Bobby Sims. Sims, the big fullback, and he picks up about 5. It'll be close to a first down.
In fact, I can't tell where the line is, but it looks like that is a first down.
It'll be very close.
It's the marker is about a yard beyond the line.
Yeah, you got to leave that to Eagle Eye, don't you? I mean,
really? Thank you, Bill.
I had to pull out my binoculars to see it. No, Eagle Eye. Cole here is.
I'm not even going to try to call them with Tim here.
It is third down and short for the Bruins. Iverson over center with one running back, and Iverson will take it on the quarterback sneaker, and quarterback gets more than a yard all the way down to the 20.
But a great job that offensive line did, and as big as they are, they just controlled it and drove the defense back, and Allen just, all he needs is a crease, Bill.
That wouldn't be a bad play to run every once in a while just on first down, because he almost breaks it every time, right? You can see right here, all he needs is a little seam. He reads it so well. He's in the secondary right now.
Back to the live action, 8:30 left in the third quarter. The Bruins driving. Iverson again has a man open, can't complete the pass this time. It was Terrell again for the short attempt. Couldn't hold on to it. Ball was just a little bit low. So it'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Bruins. Anytime you can get the ball in Allen Iverson's hands, whether it's a quarterback sneak, a rollout, a quarterback draw, I've been looking for that all night long, but apparently it hasn't been opening up. Ball at the 20. The Bruins trailing by 2 points. Again, Iverson straight back, gets pressure. Rolling, looking, throws the ball for Terrell. Can't hold on to it.
How he got the ball that close to Terrell is beyond me, because he was falling backwards running to the left.
And running to the left. Yeah, not many kids can make that throw. Really, that throw was pretty much as well as he could throw it and in a good spot. You'll see it here. He's getting good pressure. And he's going back, and now he has to get inside, then back out. And this is right off of Terrell's fingertips. Terrell makes a great effort here. He had to redirect, get his shoulders around, and almost came up with a big play.
3rd down and 10 at the 20. Again, Iverson straight back. Over the middle, almost completes the pass to Terrell again. This one incomplete. And now the Bruins will be looking at a 4th and 10. And Iverson
looks like they're going to try a field goal.
Well, let's put it this way. They're going to bring the
field goal. Yeah.
They're going to line up for it to bring in their field goal crew in.
Ball is marked at the 20. It'll be a 37-yard attempt if it is. The kick is up. It looks to be good.
Oh, wow. That just made it over, Bill. Woo. Gives the Bruins the lead for the first time tonight.
How far was that?
37.
About 37, Bill.
37 yards. That looks like about his range, and he's improved a lot as the season goes on. I don't think Norcom thought he was going to kick it because they didn't really get a lot of pressure.
12 plays, 6:55.
Excellent snap, got the ball down, good follow through, and that it looks like it split the uprights.
Right through.
Right through it.
45 yards on 12 plays. 6:55. 3:55. Take away the 3. Gary's computer is it's set up for college ball here. Gary Moore, our statistician, also just happens to be Allen Iverson's stepdad. Of course, that would,
he's not prejudiced,
not biased at all.
Biased at all, is
and I've had to tie him down over to my left here just to keep him in his chair. All right, the Bruins with the lead for the first time with 8:05 left in the 3rd quarter. Now the Bruins will have to call upon their defense to stop this explosive IC Norcom Greyhound team. That's Ricks, and they don't want to let him get loose. They don't. 25-yard line is where he returns the kickoff.
And that's Sean Robertson, one of the linebackers, 58, was in on that stop along with 2 or 3 other Bruins, but they did a good job covering that.
Bethel's got good team speed. They do a great job covering the kicks. Again, they're kicking the ball to the corner. I'm surprised Norcom hasn't made some type of adjustment, and that's tough to drop back like that and then get in the seam.
And that field being so slippery really makes it tough on everybody, certainly, but trying to make a cut is tough. Now the Bruin defense will be called to order here, and right through the middle, there goes Ricks. Terry Ricks with a convoy.
He is explosive. He ran right through Allen. Allen had a good shot at him, Allen Iverson, to safety, but Bruins did not give up on him. Just a quick opener.
They ran it from the I formation. It's just a quick hitter right up the middle, isolation, and he really hits the hole. He has great acceleration, and he read his blocks real well. He set them up so well. He was just one player away. Terrell made the play. That might have been 6.
Back to the live action. This is Ricks bouncing off the line. Nothing happening there as Brandon Chenault, check that, 43 rather, not Chenault, but 43, Wilton Evans, who just kicked that 37-yard field goal. By the way, I wanted to interject this. I know Evans was looking to be the GOAT after missing that extra point, and I feel really good for this young man. He's done very well all year long.
Well, he has improved all year long. He's gotten better as the season progressed, and that's what you hope as a coach.
No gain on the play by Ricks. 2nd down and 10. There's that bootleg again. The Bruins coming with pressure, throwing. They got a man open, and he can't come up with it. That was Lamont Burns, 21, on the pattern, but he couldn't reach that pass.
Well, there wasn't a lot of, I don't think, excellent kickers in the district, but you had a great one over there in Herman.
Yeah, Jeff was a great kicker. He had good range. He's kicked him 50 yards in practice. This looks like a sprint out to the right. Yeah, half roll. They got good pressure. It's Barry Hargraves. Or is that McCaskill? Got good pressure. And he had a wide open receiver right there and just overthrew it.
Big third down. Quick
Bootleg.
snap. And Sykes will not get the ball away, or will he? He's in the grasp. They blew the whistle.
Whoa!
And the Greyhound crowd on this side does not like that call.
That was Jonathan Dean, 55, back there and had a hold of him, but I never saw him go down.
You don't see that too often. Usually in high school, they let you got to take him to the ground.
Boy, the Greyhound fans have a reason to be upset, I think.
Yeah, they might have went to the well one too many times here. I think Bethel was looking for the bootleg, and he had his hands on him. I think he had him. I think he just let go when he heard the whistle. So you can see Dean, he just let go when he heard the whistle. So.
You know something about inadvertent whistles.
You stop when you hear that whistle now.
Yeah, and you got to. I mean, that's...
All right, the Greyhounds with a 4th and long.
And they get some motion on the offensive
There's a
end.
penalty.
This is Iverson trying to get to the outside. He gets outside, but it's out of bounds.
But I saw the end on the offense move back out of his three-point stance, and there is a flag, so that could very well be it.
Looked like.
Let's see if we can pick up the...
Looked like the right end moved right before the snap.
There you
Yep,
can see him. He
sure
was
did.
moving. Bill, in this position, would you make him punt it again or take the ball?
With Iverson, I might make
Illegal
him kick
motion.
again, but
Kick a team.
Field position's
Penalty
not
is
too bad.
refused.
So I
First
don't know. They might take the ball here. They could be, they could take a chance, let him kick it. He could pooch it out. So
Yeah.
they might just take it here.
Yeah, you got the ball. You got it in your hands. You got a 1-point lead. I'd take the ball myself.
Yeah, they got it about the 20, so that's not a bad situation. Considering where Norcom was with the football, and now they.
And again, the Bruins defense has given up the big play, but hasn't been burned but one time on it. They've allowed Ricks the big running play, but they stopped him after that. This is Bobby Sims, big Bobby Sims, holding onto that football for dear life as he picks up about 5.
And that's not a bad call down there because of the situation. They've got the trips. They're looking for the pass. Obviously, they pulled somebody out of the middle. Has opened up that.
That's an excellent call. They got 7 yards off of that. That's going to slow Norcom up, and it's going to make him at least look and respect the run.
2nd down and 3 for the Bruins. Trips to the right. And again, Sims gets the call. He coughs up the football. The ball is loose, and the Greyhounds have it. That, of course, is the danger of a young man who has not carried the ball a lot in his career. And you've got a hard tackling team like IC Norcom.
And the ball is bound to be a little bit slipped with the condition of the field.
Again, they came back with the same play, the quick hitter with the fullback, and he had a good gain. Looked like he was going to break it for a 1st down, maybe even big yards, and he just let the ball get loose. Norcom gets a lot of people to the football.
So now the Bruin defense with the IC Norcom Greyhounds at the 37-yard line. Sykes throws and almost intercepted by the Bruins. That was Terrell out on defense for Bethel.
Well, the offensive man went much deeper on his route than Sykes had anticipated, obviously.
Yeah, and Terrell did a good job breaking on the ball once it was thrown. Yeah, he ran it looked like a little bootleg fake, and he throws it more to the outside, and Terrell did a good job breaking out for the ball. He had a better shot at it than the receiver.
Larry Staten was the intended receiver. 2nd down and 10 with 4:20 left in the 3rd quarter. And now the Greyhounds.
Official timeout.
I got the officials a timeout to repair equipment.
Chin strap.
And we appreciate our good buddy Ron Cherry telling us what that's all about. Of course, we again thank the officials for allowing us to put the wireless mic on them. They add in my opinion, extensively to the game to inform us of the different situations. We also want to, before I forget, thank the folks here at Western Branch High School for all of their help in our setting up for the ball game today. All of our assistants, we appreciate that, and the free hot chocolate at halftime. Second down and 10. Sykes feels pressure, throws. He got it to Ricks, and Ricks is corralled at the 29-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. It'll be third down and about 2.
That was a good throw on their extreme pressure. And Ricks made a great adjustment on the ball. He's an excellent athlete. He can run and catch.
This young man is only a junior, so that matchup between Ricks and Iverson looms as a possibility in 93.
Look, he turned completely in a complete circle and came around and caught that football.
Big third down for the Bruins. Third down and 2. Ball is just inside the Bruin 30-yard line. Sykes wants to throw. Got a man wide open. Isolated on the right side. A first down for the Greyhounds.
He just went down about 3 yards and stopped.
Just a
Bruin
quick
get a
catch.
tremendous cushion that time.
So Larry Staten is the young man making the grab for IC Norcom. As I mentioned beforehand, Staten had 9 touchdown pass receptions.
This was a good call. It was a running situation. The coaches must have picked up a big cushion, and they get a nice gain out of it.
You know, we didn't mention the coaches very much. We should. But Joe Langston, a great coach here at IC Norcom over the last 19 years. On the option, something they haven't run before, and Sykes is sandwiched. O'Neal Sykes stopped, and he may live to regret that.
Well, that was a tremendous hit. About 4 Bruins converged on him.
Bethel, we run a lot of option, and you know we read the option, and we feel like we do a good job running that. And Bethel did a great job stopping the option against us, and they moved so well laterally and really flighted the football, and they did a great job containing this. He had nowhere to go.
As Sykes sandwich on that play, a loss of 3 on the play. Sykes hurried, throws in the end zone, incomplete. Almost picked off by DeVan Hill, who was defending on the play, but the ball falls incomplete.
Well, I'm impressed with Sykes, how accurate he is with his passes under as much pressure as he's getting.
Yeah, they've been right at his receivers, and he's given them a chance to go up for the ball. That was a good play by the corner Hill. Because they're not very big kids, and they went up and made a good play.
2:17 left in the third.
He knew who he was going to, and he threw with somebody right in his face. And Hill had better position for the ball. The Norcom receiver almost went up over and got it.
Yeah. Third down and about 12. Sykes gets some time this time, rolling out, looking, and he throws at the last second a one-hopper to his intended receiver. It'll be 4th and 12.
Well, at this point, I don't know what kind of a kicker they have, and the ball is spotted. It looks like it's about the
22-yard line.
Okay, so that'd be 32, 37, 39-yarder.
It looks like they're going to give it a shot. This kicker is supposedly the best kicker they've ever had in the school's history as far as extra points and scoring. So evidently he's got a decent leg. It's a tough angle, and it looks like it's in the mud, but I think it's a good, give it a shot.
Ronald Hawkins will be trying a 41-yarder. The Bruins try to block it. He gets it long enough. Go! It's good! Whoa!
Great power on that kick.
That thing was a rocket. That thing, we cleared that by much.
It didn't get much height on it, did it?
I mean, that thing, I'll tell you what, it popped off his leg. He's got good leg strength. How far we say that was, 41 yards?
41.
I mean, that thing got there in a hurry. And I don't think there was any doubt that was right through the center. It had looked like five more yards after that. So he's a threat. That's something to keep track of later in the game, because the way this game's going, it could come down to a kick.
It could come down to who's got the ball last.
Yeah, this game here could just come down to one mistake, a kickoff like right here, because again,
2:39 the time, 7 plays, 15 yards, capped by the 41-yard field goal from Hawkins to regain the lead for IC Norcom. And I'll tell you one thing, whoever paid their $4 to get in this game tonight got their money's worth.
We're not going to ask for it back.
And that came from a turnover, too, we need to remember.
Yeah, that fumble.
Again, the Greyhounds keep it on the ground in an attempt to
But
neutralize
Iverson gets it anyway.
Iverson trying to set up a return to the left, and he is rushed at the 25-yard line.
The thing about a kick like that, it doesn't let you set your blocking up like you would like it. He's got to come all the way over here and get it, and he squibbed it right down the side. Iverson does a good job covering a lot of ground to pick up the ball, but you can't really set up a blocking pattern like you would like on a kickoff return. He's running sideways, which is where you want him running and on a kickoff return.
Yeah, better north and south.
Iverson has it picked off.
67.
The linebacker,
Edward Hebrow.
defensive end, brother.
Well, he just went up and picked that thing right out of the air.
But that's what happens when you go to the well so often. You've got to mix up that running attack with your pass.
Well, even though they turned the ball over, they ran the ball effectively in that series. And, you know, like you said, I think it'd be good for him to keep mixing it up. Yeah, you can't see it in this, but he just anticipated the pass and just got up and took it out of the air. That was a great interception.
We have officials timeout again on the field.
So again, the Bruin defense will be called upon here to hold this explosive IC Norcom team. Ball is marked at the 24-yard line. A great field possession for the Greyhounds.
Where they kicked the field goal from,
Yeah.
Tim.
You're absolutely right. This is Ricks into the center of the line, and Hargraves has him.
That's Gaskell, big 89.
89.
You got 89 and 99, and as big as those two are, it's very easy to get them mixed up.
We're down to a minute remaining in the third quarter. Hampton and IC Norcom played a great game last week here. This one no different at all.
This was an ISO play, and they just ran in there, and McGaskill just shed his block and just stuffed it for about 1 yard.
Second down and 9. 42 seconds left in the third quarter. IC Norcom leading by 2. This is Ricks. Ricks gets away, throws it, and the ball is caught by Ricks on the tip play.
Whoa, can you believe that? Everything you wanted to do defensively, you did, and they still make a completion. Sometimes it's better to be lucky, Bell.
Christmas might have came early right there on that play. They had Sykes in a lot of trouble. This was a bad play to even throw the football. And he throws it up. He's getting smacked right as he throws the ball. 43. Chenault almost had it. And Ricks, he's a very alert kid, came across and made the play.
Ball is marked just inside the 10-yard line. First and goal. This is Ricks. He's got running room. He gets away from one would-be tackler and is finally taken down inside the 5-yard line. And that is going to be the end of the third quarter. After 3 quarters, our score, IC Norcom 17, Bethel High School 15. We'll return for the fourth quarter of action after a brief timeout. Well, as both teams switch ends of the field, the final 12 minutes set to get underway momentarily. Boy, what a huge play that was. As you said, Bob, the Bruins did everything correctly defensively and just had the ball tipped in the air. That's the second week in a row now. A tip play by a defender has ended in a big play for the opposition. Those are the breaks, you know. You play hard, you practice hard, you give it all your effort, and the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Well, and and that's true. You can have all the plans and call the right play and everything, but sometimes that lady luck sticks her head in there.
We're going to watch it again here, I think.
Yeah, we're going to come back to this play. Lamont Williams, I think, is right in his face right now, has a hold of him. I don't know who came in after. I think McGaskill, and this was a bad play to even throw it. And there's Ricks. He just cuts underneath the football and then makes a great run with it after he catches it.
He is so slippery after he catches the football. 2nd and goal for the Greyhounds. The ball is at the 3-yard line. The Bruin defense called upon here to stop this incredibly explosive backfield of IC Norcom. They've done a good job all game long. They have to come up with it now. This is Ricks, right side, and he is smothered. Terrific effort by the Bruins.
Well, that was Lamont Williams, and Xavier Gunn just did an awesome job.
We have an injured IC Norcom player on the field.
And they had unbalance to the right and just ran to their strength.
Yeah, that's tough going down there against Bethel.
Here's your replay.
Watch this from the end zone, Bill.
Yeah, this is just an it looks like a handoff sweep to the outside, something, and Bethel just strung it out real well. There's Gunn coming up and making a play, and I can't see who's on the outside, but that's good defense. This is tough yardage down here. Bethel knows lots hanging out for this defensive series right now.
Can't see who that
75. That's one. I think that's the biggest kid they have on the field.
Yeah, 6.
Jerome Coleman.
He's only a 10th grader, 290, 6'9".
He probably just having a hard time getting that momentum back up off the ground.
That's a lot of weight to get up off the ground.
It looks like he's okay.
So it's going to be 3rd down and goal. The ball still at the 3-yard line. Bruins led 15-14, only to see that lead wiped out by a 41-yard field goal by Hawkins.
Well, you might find them, wouldn't be a bad play to run the bootleg here.
Well, I'll tell you one thing they did last week in this situation. They faked that same play, and the quarterback bootlegged and walked it in.
You know the Bruins watch those game tapes. 3rd and goal. This is the same play. You called it. And Sykes is going to be stormed under. What a huge play by the Bethel defense.
Well, that's Sean Robinson, linebacker on the right side, along with big 6'7" Barry Hargraves.
What a tremendous defensive rush.
They were looking for it.
They saw the play.
Official timeout for injury.
Got another injury timeout, and that is Sykes who is down. He was just bowled over. Watch the replay from the end zone.
Yeah, he fakes the ISO here to Ricks. It's coming back left, and they just stayed at home.
Great job of switching, Mr. Bowers and group.
I mean, there's 3 people there. They weren't fooled at all. I'm sure they looked at the game last week and were looking for that play in that situation.
Well, that's well coached, because sometimes you can see it. You know it as a coach, but sometimes it's hard to get the guys to react to that, especially when you're down there close to the end zone.
Yeah, they did a great job getting the kids ready, because there was no question. They were just sitting there waiting for that. And Bethel does a great job running laterally. That's a great defensive stand.
Well, where's the ball spotted, Tim? Can you eagle-eye that?
It would appear to be spotted right at the 15-yard line, and Sykes will get up and get off on his own steam, and that's good news for both sides of the stands. He has played a tremendous game, this young man.
Well, a field goal here is not going to hurt you as much as a touchdown would have, because you're still within a touchdown of the lead without an extra point.
Hawkins will try the field goal. This will be a 31-yard attempt.
Is this the normal holder?
I'm not really sure, Bob.
Hawkins gets it blocked. It'll go into the end zone. It should be a touchback.
Huge play.
And it may have been because Sykes may be the normal holder on the extra point and the field goal.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but one thing we noticed on the first field goal, he kicks it low. And Bethel's got some big kids up front, and they just probably got their hands up and got a piece of it. And, they were down about the 3-yard line, and then they come away with no points in the situation. Can't see who got it. Looks like somebody in the inside or that outside man got a piece of the ball.
He did kick it
well,
real low.
you got 2 big people, and especially Barry Hargraves.
Yeah.
Iverson, quarterback draw, or at least the resemblance thereof. Nothing happening as he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And that almost looked like a call play, Bill.
I'm not sure. It looked like he was looking downfield, and they're just doing a great job of keeping him inside.
That's how you stop Iverson. You don't want to get him to the outside if you can keep him in the pocket.
If you look, it looks like he's looking downfield. I don't think he just stepped up and there's nothing there, so he's got to take it inside. He had no choice.
2nd down and 10. The Bruins down by 2 points. Short drop. Iverson rifles it along the sidelines. Can't see. It is a catch.
And it's a 1st down.
That is Kelly Rogers on that right side, I believe. That's who it is. Kelly Rogers, his go-to man all season long. Rogers in the regular season had 21 catches for 461 yards.
Big number 85, Reginald Demps, 6'1", 190, comes limping off.
Again, another timing pattern. I'll tell you what, that's great coverage. It's just a great throw, great catch.
Lamont Burns, the defender on the play, but a 1st down for the Bruins. Again, Iverson drops back, sees some running room, and then gets across the 35 to about the 37. Picks up about 5. He's going to be a tired young man after this night is over with.
Well, as all of these ball players are going to be tired tonight.
9:40 left in the 4th quarter. Here's your replay.
Quick drop. He's looking. I think he's looking for number 7 right there, but he sees an opening up the middle. Does a good job. A very bad part of the field.
Well, you see him slipping and sliding.
He gets 5 yards out of it.
Iverson with a deeper drop, setting up the screen over the middle for Kirk. Kirk has a great block, and Kirk is down the sideline. He may go all the way. He will be caught at the 14-yard line, but it'll be a 1st down.
What a nice play, that screen. I've been looking for it all night long.
Yeah, that's a new wrinkle for her. I haven't seen him run that play, a little flanker screen, and then release their lineman downfield and hit it right on stride.
Well, he got a great block, Bill. I'm trying to pick up the guy who threw the block.
Oh, he got a huge block on 51 after the catch. Look at him, he waited till the last second.
He did a great job hanging in there. Somebody, I can't see exactly. That
may
really
have been
sprung him. Another
Gaskell.
block right there. Kelly Rogers, and it looks like he's got 6 at this point, but number 20 that made the play. That's a great tackle.
Octavius Brothers saved 6. But the Bruins now knocking on the door. This is Sims, who fumbled earlier. He is inside the 15. Down to about the 11-yard line. A pickup of maybe 3.
I tell you, the momentum has changed in this game more than any game I've seen. I mean, momentum is not going to stay with any one team.
No, well, you got 2 teams that aren't going to quit. They're going to keep coming at each other.
Is Sykes playing defense, Bob, with your binoculars? See if you can find out if 19 is in there. I know he was shaken up on offense a while ago. Iverson getting the pressure, and he'll have to eat the ball at the 24-yard line. I think I do see Sykes out there around the 15-yard line.
Yeah, he's there. He's there.
Going to have to keep that man down with a hammer. I don't think you're going to see any of these players.
These kids know the importance of this football game.
So a huge defensive play by the Greyhounds that time. Here's the replay.
Yeah, number 44 comes across and just was relentless and won't let them get away. They've got everybody on their defense can run to the football.
That was Hawkins who kicked the go-ahead field goal playing defense. Iverson has time, looks, throws, it's almost picked off. Oh, that would have been a huge interception for the Greyhounds. Alfred Terrell was the intended receiver for the Bruins. And now a timeout is being called and will be charged to, I believe, Bethel.
Each one of the coaches have called a timeout now, so there's each one of them just has 2 left.
First choice timeout to Bethel, second half.
Okay, we got it back on the replay here.
We're looking at a 4th down, Bill. It was 3rd on this play.
Yeah, again, Iverson's going back. He's taking about a 5-step drop. He steps up, and he's throwing the ball over. That's great anticipation, I believe, by the corner. He's been looking to throw. They've been doing a great job keeping him inside, and in the corner, and their DBs really react well to the ball. Yeah, we got 4th and what? 22?
4th and a ton.
Yeah, 4th and a. I guess you would try for the field goal here. The kid kicked it before from what, 41. Field goal takes the lead here, so I guess you'd have to go back to him.
And that's exactly what he's doing.
This will be a 41-yarder.
This is about the same distance, isn't it?
And we may see a fake here also. Keep in mind that they almost run a fake one time before.
Boy, what a game. Back and forth. We got movement on the line. It didn't happen. No flag down. The kick is up. It is good.
Oh!
A 41-yarder by Wilton Evans.
Bill, can you believe it? I mean, inches, right?
Yeah, there's not much to spare there. But hey, 2 41-yarders, you can't. And I mean, and we're talking pressure kicks. This isn't just some day at the beach here. These are 2 big kicks.
Unbelievable. The sack that put Iverson for a 10-yard
Good
loss.
snap, boy, great snap. I think that's overlooked a lot when you're kicking the football. That thing's right on the money, and it's right down the center.
I mean, it made it by a yard, maybe 2. But there you see the score with 7:39 remaining. You got to have a defensive stop here. The Bruins, the last time they kicked the field goal, turned around and let Ricks go down the field, and they just can't let them do that.
I think you have to go back to the defensive stop. They had 2nd and goal from the 3, and they end up coming away with no points.
Absolutely a huge
that was a big play.
Now we'll also have to see what kind of shape Sykes is in after being shaken up. I doubt if he's in any kind of trouble.
Well, he wouldn't be on there defensively, Tim, if he was.
Bruins have to guard against a big return. They have not allowed one so far. And trying to get to the outside. And finally out of bounds in good field position at about the 42.
Now, if you're Bethel defense, you have turned the ball over offensively. Now, what you hope is your defense can cause a turnover, give you good field position, give you a chance to go down and maybe ice this game.
Again, it's a short kick. Norcom does a better job of fielding the kick this time. Again, it's a back person coming for the ball, but he does a good job. He gets up in the wedge and then gets a little cut outside, and this is a good run. This gives him good field position.
43-yard line is where they'll start. The Bruins defense has played big. They've got to continue. They've got Sykes for a sack.
And he was down, and that's what Cherry's calling. And again, that's Sean Robinson, who's got to be a consideration for the player of the game.
Oh, this defense has played superbly for the Bruins. I mean, let's face it, Allen Iverson has been spectacular. Wilton Evans with 2 big field goals, but the defense has just played great. And that'll be the story of this game right now with 7 minutes remaining. The Bruins holding on to a 1-point lead. Here's the replay.
Yeah, Sykes is looking to get outside, and we got big pressure right here by Robinson. I mean, he's been in his face all night, and just he's not going to be denied and just pulls him down.
And he did a great job fighting through a block.
Again, the Bruins coming. He gets it away. It is picked off. Allen Iverson with the interception.
It was a matter of time. If he throws the ball up before you're going to get that kind of a reaction.
Let's not forget now, 2 timeouts remaining for each team here in the second half. The Bruins will have good field possession. They've got it at their 43.
And what caused that turnover was the pressure from your defensive line on Sykes.
You get Lamont Williams and you got Hargraves, and then he's got people in his face. And he's had him in his face all night, and then he just threw it up, and Iverson, you keep throwing the ball for grabs, he's going to get one.
Well, and as big and physical as this Bruin defensive line is, makes a big difference too.
This is Michael Jackson, who's been used sparingly in the ballgame, picks up 2, but more importantly, winds some time off that clock.
Yeah, this is when you want to eat some clock, no question about that.
And the Bruins have not been able to do that up to this point.
It'd be nice to eat a couple minutes off this clock. get a couple first downs and, mix it up a little bit.
What a tremendous ball game. Win, lose, or draw. I know it's a terrible, terrible cliche, but I hate to see either team lose this ball game. 2nd down and 8. Devan Hill as a flanker in motion to the near side. Handoff right side for Jackson, and Jackson is hit at the line of scrimmage. Clock continues to wind down with 5:20 remaining. If you joined us late or if you didn't see the game in person, you missed probably as good a high school football game as you'll ever want to see. Bruins fell behind 14-6, took the lead 15-14, lost it 17-15, and then regained it on a 41-yard field goal by Wilton Evans. This is Jackson, right side, and Jackson is stuffed. So the Bruins 3 and out, but they've been able to wind some time off the clock. It'll be right around 4 minutes to go when they kick the ball.
Big thing now is I think Norcom is probably going to come. Are they going to come after the punter? I think they will in this situation.
They got him, not the ball, but they got him, Evans, earlier in the ball game, if you recall.
I want to make sure, Tim, that the offensive line does a good job here.
I'll do that ball in the end zone. That'd have been smart, man.
Kevin Melvin back at his 30-yard line. Long count by the Bruins. Melvin gets it away. It's an end-over-end kick. It'll give time for the Bruins to get down to play the ball, and they are able to do so. So the Norcom Greyhounds will have it at their 27-yard line.
Well, no run back has got to be good. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Got my attention. Bob is going to try and make his way down to the field to hopefully have a post-game interview with, hopefully, the victorious Bethel Bruins.
I sure am. I'm sure going to get down there. We need to consider who you want to consider for player of the game. At this point, it's
Wilton Evans.
I'm kind of going with you on that too, Tim.
Wilton Evans has got to be the player of the game right now. You can't give it to the whole defense. You should. This is Ricks. Look out. He is caught, almost caught by Iverson. He just won't go down.
What a strong runner.
Whoa. Iverson might have saved the touchdown there because he was headed to the sideline and he cut him off, and even though he missed the tackle, held it up.
Here's your replay. Ricks,
okay, we're going to give it to Ricks. Give it to the Ricks. It looks like on a delay. There's a pretty good hole, and he almost breaks it. He hits it up the sideline. Iverson made a big play.
Back to the live action. This is Ricks, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. 3:10 remaining. The Greyhounds with 2 timeouts left. Bill, I don't know if you could ask for a more exciting ball game under any circumstance than this one.
Well, you got 2 great football teams. They know the importance of this football game. You got regional finals, back and forth. It doesn't get much better than this.
18-17, Bethel with a 1-point lead. 2:44 remains in the 4th quarter. Sykes back, short drop, throws up the long pass, incomplete. No flags down. The Bruins,
good pass defense.
You gotta play good defense, but you don't want a penalty to be a deciding factor in this game, and the officials have done a great job to this point.
No, they've let the kids play, and that was great coverage. Both kids fighting for the football.
Here's your replay. 2:34 remains.
Yeah, he was going to the end zone all the way, or going deep all the way. He's coming back, and he's taking 3 steps and just letting it fly. Good play by Terrell, too. He was with them. And
there you see Coach Kozlowski. Nervous time for the coach. 3rd down and long. Sykes has time. Feels pressure, throws. It is picked up by Iverson. Allen Iverson with the interception in second of the second half.
Oh, big one, Tim. I'm having trouble picking you up. I'm picking a lot of static up, but that was a great interception.
Great interception.
Allen Iverson with a huge interception. Here's your replay. his second of the game. He does everything but blow up the ball.
Sykes was getting a lot of pressure on this play, and I can't tell who his primary receiver was, but he was hesitating. You could tell that it was taken away, and he just, again, I think he just throws the ball up and grabs. Lamont Williams had good pressure, and this is a heck of a reception. I mean, that you don't get it much better than that right there.
Allen Iverson is just too much. You know, you want to give about 6 players of the game award for this one. This is Sims, and he is stacked up in the line of scrimmage. The Bruins now with 2 minutes remaining, and now IC Norcom will call their second of 3 timeouts. The Bruins truly need a first down to clinch this one.
Yeah, you'd sure like to see one first down could clinch this thing.
Second choice timeout for Norcom in the second half.
But they haven't run the ball that effectively, and I don't think they want to put the ball up and kill the clock. So you're probably going to see them, stick with some basic running play here and try and hope they can break one.
We'll watch again the interception by Allen Iverson.
Yeah, Sykes is coming to the right here. He's looking for somebody right over the middle, and there's nothing there. Lamont Williams gets the pressure, forces him to throw the football, and he throws it, and this is just a great reception. I thought that thing was going out, nobody was going to get near it, and then he just came out of nowhere and made the play.
And folks, if you like the way he plays football, you ought to see him dribble the round ball.
Well, I'm glad I don't have to coach football and basketball and look at them both, both seasons. Football's enough for me.
We've had the pleasure of having Bill Dee, the head coach at the Phoebus High School Phantoms, as our extra color commentator tonight. We really appreciate you taking time out to be with us on this holiday weekend, Bill.
Well, Tim, I really appreciate you giving me a chance to be up with you guys. This is a great game. I love football. I'd be here anyway looking at the football game. It gives me a chance to, to get up here with you guys. You guys do, a great job for all the teams in Hampton, and we appreciate the work you do.
Tim, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, Bob.
A first down at this point would be so great for the Bruins, but I don't think they're going to get it running up the middle on this defense.
Well, we've got motion, and it looks like we have the Bruins perhaps jumping the gun. Not particularly important at this point. It's possession that's important. Yeah, they would have liked to not lost the yardage, but of course the clock will not move. Illegal procedure against the Bruins. Looked like 2 players may have left early.
Dead ball. False start. Offense.
Well, Bill,
the ball is on the 9-yard line.
We have seen a tremendous season on the peninsula, certainly for Hampton City Schools, with Hampton playing so well. Bethel, your Phoebus team, just narrowly missing the playoffs, and Kickintan with a good season. So it's been exciting, and tonight's capper to this is no exception.
No, it's you've got great football day in, day out in the Peninsula District and the city of Hampton. All the schools do a great job, and just like last week's game, Hampton went down to the last play of the game.
Third timeout.
Then this game, it looks like it could end up it's going to come down to the last minute of the game.
I mean, it's the electricity in the air is unbelievable. You see the fans from both sides afraid to utter a sound.
Yeah, nobody's leaving either.
No, there's no one headed for the parking lot early after this one. You're right. But again, we want to thank our crew for a superb effort tonight, as always. Our camera people, Jerome Young, Ron Baton, and Melvin Hooker. Just a tremendous job from our people. Our director, Scotty Bowers, our producer, Dr. Sam Stills. I believe Alan Parker is our instant replay man tonight, and all of our other people who assist in bringing this to you. Beverly Penn for her graphics work. Just a great effort, as always, and my hat's off to this crew. These guys do a great job following that football. I mean, our camera people are rival to anyone as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they do a good job. The instant replay is great and so forth. It gives a person who really understands the game and wants to see the game, a great view of all the angles, and it gives the kids that are making the play. I think that the people at home want to see their sons and their cousins and their relatives making the play, and it gives them a great view.
Third down and 9 for the Bruins. Iverson back to pass. Will he throw the ball? He steps up and holds on to it. Now the Bruins have to kick it but the Greyhounds cannot stop the clock prior to them snapping it. And of course, you would imagine, Bill, they'll bring everybody.
Yeah, they're going.
I wouldn't even expect to see a deep man.
They might have somebody deep, because one thing you don't want to do is let the ball roll. If they can catch the ball and he can get any type of return, to Bethel's punter hasn't kicked the ball deep, they might have a shot at a field goal down here.
There's every possibility going on right now. This is an all-important kick. Kevin Melvin has never kicked a more important punt in his life. Long count by the Bruins. They're coming. Melvin gets it away. It's a good end-over-end kick, fielded and fumbled, and now he'll just have to fall on the ball. That was a huge break for the Bruins. No return.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have got much of a return, but anything would have helped.
And again, that's the bad spot in the field.
Yeah, that's a bad part of the field. They've got, I mean, we're about the 40-yard line. Bethel did an excellent job giving him protection and giving him a chance at.
All right, it's going to be a nail-biting time now. The Greyhounds with no timeouts remaining. This is Dean in the face of the quarterback, completes it well out of bounds, stopping the clock. Good pressure from Jonathan Dean, certainly one of our candidates for the player of the game. He has played a superb game.
That defensive front has kept pressure on him all night and kept him moving, and he's just not getting time to find the receivers exactly. He could have thrown that ball a little sooner, but he couldn't with somebody in his face, and that's what took that play away.
Here you see Jonathan
out,
Dean.
and he threw the ball. Yeah, he's about 5 yards, a couple yards out of bounds.
42 seconds remaining. No timeouts left for the Greyhounds. The winner moves to the state semifinals. Sykes looking, has time, throws long, and the only man back is DeVan Hill. He'll pick it off. He'll run it back, but I guarantee you he'll cradle that football. He took a heck of a hit, but he's got the ball, and that's a late flag coming down. Late flag down, and it looks like Iverson may have been hurt on the play. Is that Iverson?
Is that Iverson down the middle of the field?
Woo! Tim, I don't know if you can hear me, but what a great interception. But again, the defense is the one that put the pressure on Sykes. Great job by the Bruins.
Right now, our concern is with the injured player on any occasion, but if that is Allen Iverson, that is extraordinarily important. No, it's not Iverson. I see Iverson on the far side. 58. Okay,
Robinson.
That is still a very...
On the return, by the return team.
You'd hate to see anybody get hurt
first down.
in that situation.
And I'm happy to tell you that Robinson jumps up and works his way off the field. He is going to be all right. So the Bruins, all they have to really do at this point, they are penalized for a clip on the return. Let's watch this.
Yeah, he just looks like he's throwing it up deep, hoping his receiver can run under it, and he just so right now late in the game, it just seems like he's throwing the ball up for grabs.
Been a penalty or something?
Hill did a good job just waiting for the football, made a good return, and stayed in bounds.
All the Bruins have to do is take the snap. The Greyhounds cannot stop the clock. Bethel late getting a player on the field. And Allen Iverson takes it, drops to his knee, and that should be your ball game. The Bethel Bruins are going to win 18-17 and advance to the state semifinals.
What a great football game.
Truly a great high school football game.
2 weeks in a row of this stuff. You know, this is high school football at its best right here. Last 2 weeks have been great, and that's a great win. I tell you, Bethel's defense really, came up with big when it had to. They had it down there 2nd and goal from about the 3-yard line, and Norcom comes away with nothing.
The Bruins defense, as you said, Bill, exactly. A 3rd and goal or 2nd and goal inside the 5. The Bruins sacked the quarterback and then blocked the punt, or blocked the field goal.
Field goal. And speaking of field goals,
yeah, really.
Field goal kicker,
All the way, baby. baby! Bethel number one, baby! Bethel number one! Wait,
Hey, Tim, I got Dr. Bailey here. Tom, you got to be proud of this team tonight.
And I tell you what, it couldn't be more exciting. This was the best game I've seen in a long time. Two great teams out here, and neither one of them wanted to give up.
And that's what we was talking about. This is very well played in the championship game of Division 5.
Well, that's what everybody's saying, but it's not over till it's over, and they know it. So, I mean, every team in the playoffs is going to be tough. Look at this field. I don't know how they stood up.
I don't either. This is unbelievable. Congratulations.
Hey, we're excited,
And
brother.
we'll see you in Richmond.
You know it.
All right, Tim, let's go back up to you.
All right, Bill, and we can't echo enough what sentiments the Bethel Bruins just played their hearts out, never would give up, and when they had to have it, they got it.
Yeah, they really did. You know, that's when you find out what you're made out of in situations like that. You know, the kids just wouldn't lay down. They would. You know, Ricks is one of the best running backs in the area. You know, leading ground gainer in Southeastern District's history, and they just they stocked them cold down there.
Tim, I've got the Wilton here, the kicker. What can I say? You had good snap, good holds, and great follow through on your kicks.
We all played as a team and, get the job done and stuff. So it all came together at the end. We tried our hardest to win the game, so we won.
Well, you guys did a great job. You made player of the game. Those were two not only good kicks, but pressure kicks.
Yeah, they were pressure kicks. They had a good team coming in on us and rushing and everything. But I think our line gave us a good holding and we got the kicks off and everything. So
well, congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right, Tim, let's go back up to you and Bill.
All right, and again, our congratulations to Wilton Evans for our player of the game. If we could have given 5 or 6 of them.
Hey, Tim, I got Coach Kozlowski here. Coach, championship game very well could have been two great teams out there, momentum back and forth. You guys did a great job.
Well, our defense did a great job throughout the season, second half, and boy, they rose to it tonight. Of course, that one little play, we worked on that all week long. They're very aggressive, and we felt that screen would work. And we had to wait to the right time to use it, and we got away with it.
Well, this is what Bill D said. Bill's up there with us. He said that was a new wrinkle you put in, and you always got one little thing. But I was so impressed with what you did down here when they were on the 2-yard line, and they run that bootleg. Your guy stayed at home and threw him for a loss.
Well, we felt that they would try something like that. They've gone to it a number of times. They did it to beat Hampton last week, and we wanted to atone for Coach Smith's crew. They're a good football team. Thought they had them on the ropes, and they should have beaten them, and we're going to make sure that we were successful over here.
Well, congratulations, Kaz. We're going to see you up in Richmond.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Look forward to it.
All right, thanks. Tim, let's go back up to you and Bill.
All right, gee, I wonder if Coach Kaz has been yelling at all during.
No, I don't think. Yeah, he probably took it in stride. Kaz doesn't get very excited.
I said last week, I said in the dictionary next to the word intense, they have his picture. That would about cover it. But boy, I'll tell you one thing, just to recap very briefly, there's a ton of stars in this game for Bethel. Hargraves, 99, played a great game. Allen Iverson played a great game. Robinson at linebacker. Jonathan Dean. Devan Hill with the big interception late in the game. Iverson with 2 interceptions. The Bruin defense, in spite of all of the notoriety of Allen Iverson's offensive advantage, the Bruin defense truly was, this game, as it was last week, the big difference.
Well, I think in big football games, I really believe this is that defense wins you the big football games and kicking game. And in this case, you had the 2 field goals and great defense. And I think that defense can carry them through to the state championship. I really felt the winner of this game. I'm not trying to put any pressure on Kaz or anything, and I know they got to take. They got 2 tough football games left, but this here was a great challenge. Norcom's got a great football team, and Bethel played them toe-to-toe and came away with the win. This is a big win, and I think they'll do a great job and be a great representative in the playoffs in the next week.
Our congratulations to Joe Langston and the Norcom Greyhounds. A great season for them. They'll finish 11-1 after playing just an incredible year in which their defense and their offense just was brilliant. And they ran into a tough team with the Bethel Bruins tonight, and it really was just a matter of gutting it out, and whoever kicked the last points or got that last big play was the winner. The Bruins were the guys to pull it off.
Yeah, they came up with the last big play in this one, and they had the big interceptions. And it is a team effort. I think that's the thing you come away with. There were a lot of kids that made big plays, but it was a great team effort.
All right, Bob, unless you got someone else for us to chat with, and I see you coming back up. The final score again: the Bethel Bruins win the Eastern Regional Championship 18-17 over the IC Norcom Greyhounds. For Bob Hintz and Bill D, this is Tim Cole and the entire crew. Thanks for watching. We will be traveling to Richmond next week. We will have that game for you between the Bruins and their opponent in the semifinals. Good night, everybody.